Welcome to the open book, where every voice matters. Every story got layers, and every conversation opens something new. Turn the page, turn the page, turn the page. Turn the page. Turn the page. Turn the page. Welcome to the open book, where the real conversations flow. Turn the page. Turn the page. Turn the page. Every story got meaning. Every perspective shows. Turn the page. Turn the page. Turn the page. Turn the page. Late night talks with the smooth bass knocking. Whole room tuned when the topics dropping. Authors, culture, real life views. Open book vibes bring a whole new groove. No fake energy when the dialogue starts. Different perspectives play a major part. From page to podcast, the vibes stay deep. Real conversations every single week. Welcome to the open book, where the real conversations flow. Turn the page, turn the page, turn the page, turn the page. Every story got meaning. Every perspective show. Turn the page, turn the page, turn the page. Every chapter different. Every voice got purpose. Every voice got purpose. Turn the page.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the open book. This is your host, Lakeisha. I hope everyone is having a wonderful Tuesday, okay? Yesterday, Monday, was the funeral services for Nolan Wells, and many of us tuned in to that service, and we were able to watch the service and hear of some various things, that are now taking place. So we're going to get into some of that on today. I also, y'all, have a little footage, okay? Now, remember the repast service on yesterday was by invite only, okay? Well, y'all know how kids and adults and so forth, people love to go live. People love to share Snapchat videos, okay? Child, I got us some footage from inside of the repast, okay? So we're going to tap into that. Also, y'all, there are some other inconsistent statements that have been made, or I don't want to call them lies, but y'all, we're going to look into something. As I went back to look at some of the earlier videos with the parents and some of the, press that they did earlier, some things came out that now coming forward to some things we're learning. I had to go back, and there are certain things I'm trying to match up and show some inconsistent statements, not on the side of the parents, but with some of Nolan's friends, okay, and some things that I don't know if their mom is aware of, but there are definitely some inconsistent statements that we're looking at. And y'all, Nancy Grace, she did a whole video last night. Now, we're not going to watch the whole video, but during this video, Nancy Grace, on a public platform, admitted that she has access to see photos, or I would say someone sent her photos from a source of Nolan Wells' body. Now, I don't know if y'all remember when Kobe Bryant was in that helicopter accident and police were there, and some of them were taking pictures, okay, of his body, and they were sending those pictures to their friends, their police friends, and Vanessa Bryant found out, and she sued them, okay, and won. Now, look, Nancy Grace, you about to get caught up in something, because this is supposed to be an ongoing investigation, okay? Why are you with pictures? Child, none of us have even seen pictures, or there was a whole closed casket. So why do you have pictures of Nolan Wells' body? Okay, so that's something else we're going to get into today as well. Okay, let's see who we have here so far. Hey, my girl T. Smith is in the building. Welcome, sister. Thank you for being first in the building. Hey, Clarinetta, welcome. Hinata is in the building. Thank you for joining. Space Gate, she said, all praises to the Most High Yahweh. Shalom. Israel. I hope I said that second word right. Okay, I agree. Welcome, sis. Thank you for joining. Hey, Sharon, welcome. Alicia is in the building. She said thumbs up. Obi in chat room. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up or double tap that screen. It is for free. Hey, I am that somebody is in the building. Welcome, sis. Good morning, Karen. Thank you so much for joining on today. Phenomenal Scorpio. Look, we've been needing you detectives reporting in for duty. Okay. Hey, Ian. Ian said, Obi, that thumbnail is diabolical. Look, I was trying to get the brother on there as well. I couldn't find a good picture of Jalen, child. I was like, look, this holding me up this morning. But I was trying to get his picture on there too. Okay, so I'm gonna have to come back and add it to the next thumbnail. He gonna be on there. We shining the light on him too. Remember, we turning them lights on. All of the roaches about to scatter. Okay. Shout out to Reverend Al Sharpton. Hey, the Queen's Den is in the building. HGY, thank you for tapping in. Good morning, Tabany. Hey, sis. Shamika is in the building. Yes, there is hope is in the building. Welcome, Tabitha. Hey, Stephanie. How have you been? Okay. I appreciate you for tuning in. Jane Spitfire said, money rules. Think Katie's brother or father might have did him and beat Nolan Wells in. Oh, the father and brothers have disappeared. Oh, really? Oh, allegedly. Okay. We definitely gonna go down that rabbit hole as well. Not probably on this live because it'll be too long, child, because we got some stuff to talk about. But we're looking into them because y'all, we still got to find a connect between the friend groups. Okay. So that's something we're moving towards. Let's see here. Hey, Yolanda, welcome. Thank you for joining. Okay. I think I'm getting to everyone. Tracy, good morning. She said, oh, you back at it early this morning. Okay, y'all, we were on a members live last night for, I think, over 2. Y'all get a chance, watch the members live replay because we got into some discussion. Okay. Hey, Protector 91 is in the building. Nika is in the building. Teresa. Okay. Make sure y'all vote also in the poll this morning. Do y'all think someone is going to snitch for that 100K? They're so bold with their wrongdoings. Exactly. James Spitfire said autopsy said he was beaten and burned by EMS workers and men who found Nolan's body on the beach coast. Well, I haven't seen. Hey, Verb. Good morning. I haven't seen the autopsy yet, so I don't. I mean, we haven't heard an official. Now we've heard some ladies coming out speaking and so forth about something they heard, but as far as something official, I haven't. The Queen's Den, she says, so I've been going over my notes. Yes, somebody going to jail. Come on now. Salute to Gentleman's Den is in the building. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Y'all, if you have not checked out the Gentleman's Den, I'm tickled every time I see him though, because I think back to his lives. He is hilarious. Okay. See, I live vicariously through people that can say stuff and get away with it that I wish I could. Okay, I go over there just to be a part. Okay, y'all, salute to him. Make sure y'all check out Gentleman Den. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Sugar Mama Maine is in the building. Welcome. All right, y'all, I think I'm getting to the end. Hey, Tootie, Smurf Ed. Thank you, ladies, for joining. Also, special shout out to Smurf Ed for the gems. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, sis. And thank you for being a sponsor for today's live. Y'all, did you notice I can now see the gems? Okay, and the gifts. At first, we couldn't see it on StreamYard, but I guess they've been hearing all of the YouTube content creators. T. Smith, can you put Gentleman's Den link in the chat? They've been hearing, us saying, man, we can't see y'all gifts. I guess YouTube said, "Shaw, let's fix it." So now we can see it in StreamYard. Okay. All right. So let's get into it. Hey, Paula, welcome. Now, y'all, on yesterday was Nolan's funeral, and during that funeral, there was a $50,000 award by Reverend Al Sharpton. And then during the funeral, Tyler Perry called in, and he also stated that he wanted to give $50,000 towards the $100,000 award. Now, that's for anyone that can give information that leads to an arrest and conviction. Okay. I said, "Oh, child, because we got a lot of detectives that's been on this case over in my chat. Okay, can we turn in our notes? Y'all check it out. And if we right, okay, y'all give us the cash because we pretty much is getting way further than these investigators. Okay, they talked to someone in the medical field who transported the body. Yes, they did. Those ladies. So I put in the poll because I wanted y'all to vote, throughout this live on whether or not you feel that someone is going to snitch or not. Now, I was showing the members last night a little short video on IG from this guy who said that pretty much, some of them kids was on there doing some rugs. You know, and they start snitching. It's what he call him? I don't think he called him a crackhead, but a dope head looking for $100,000 come up somewhere. Okay. I was like, oh Lord. But hey, you never know. These kids are young, and I know that they come. Thank you, sis. I know, yeah, we could definitely split it up, child. They come from families. You just never know because that's mommy and daddy's money, but that's not necessarily always your money. Okay. Some of them are going to college and so forth. So I don't know. I don't know if someone will speak up or not, but that was something that was put on the table on yesterday. Hey, Karen Michelle, she said, let's go for the reward. The ladies know the person they didn't transport. The ladies know the person they didn't transport. Oh, are you saying that they didn't transport Nolan's body and they were telling them that or something? They can get a watch like Javon. Come on, Phenomenal Scorpio. Okay, they might want to start with Javon. Come on now. All you need to do is go to Javon. Javon, hey, we saw you like, the little ice that you had the other day. You flossing online, okay, showing off your new watch for your birthday. Now we got $100,000, okay. And this, hey, if you have some information, let us know, okay. We're not saying that you did it, but if you have some information, let us know. You can get you two watches, okay. Okay, you might can even go get you a nice car. I'm telling y'all, it is somebody out there that doesn't have money like this. That to them, that is a huge come up, six figures. Okay, six-figure come up. So I don't know. Now I don't know if they can remain anonymous because that would be my question. Now, if I tell y'all, are y'all gonna put me in some type of police protection? Am I gonna, get some type of protection, or can I remain anonymous to the public? I don't know how that part works. They didn't put a disclosure out there on that. There was another incident in Iowa where the black guy visits his girlfriend, and he was a college student attending LSU, drowned while water rafting. Oh, wow, really? See, this is happening a lot. Okay, like really. Hey, Sheila. All right. So the other thing, no, that's not J Bun. We were talking about Gentleman's Den. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he has a channel, but he has an IG. Yes, that's what you're asking. Yes, it's Javon.6 on IG. Somebody's about to get that bag. They probably don't like the assailant or assailants anyway. Come on now, a bunch of them just fake child. Now, something else during the press conference, okay, I was a little, bothered yesterday. I had to have a conversation with the members, 'cause I was in my feelings about some stuff. I'm going to just be honest, okay? Now, I want y'all to understand where I'm coming from. Let me also say this live is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is covered under the Fair Use Act. Information shared is alleged in our opinions as we react to various topics and people. Okay. Good morning, everyone coming in. Welcome, ladies. Now, I know that Ben Crump and his team are probably, most likely playing chess, okay, with Mississippi. Mississippi, they had Nolan's body first, okay? Their autopsy should have been completed first. Now, they're saying they're waiting on toxicology reports. Now, Ben Crump, um, they did get the body afterwards, okay, and was sent off. And we were told originally that there would be some type of autopsy results back that Friday. Remember, Friday came, and then there was, oh well, they had canceled flights, so Nolan's body did not make it. Okay, so okay, y'all know we got grace. The family's grieving, all of that. We ain't gonna put too much pressure. Okay, we're not gonna put too much pressure. So we waiting it out, right? Okay, so then comes, well, after the funeral, we're going to give some information pertaining to the autopsy results. So we're all thinking after the funeral we're going to hear something. Now we didn't hear nothing on yesterday after the funeral about these autopsy reports, and it's almost like he's like saying, oh yeah, I think he did it that day. It'll show when he did it, all of that. I get that he's playing a game of chess with the other side, okay, Mississippi, those people. But I just don't I'm one that don't tell me something and don't do it. Okay, because now you got my hopes up. We thinking we about to hear some type of results. Now you don't have to go all up into it. But can y'all, at least dispel what was the body tortured and burned? Okay. Like, is that a rumor or was there some truth to it? See, we don't have nothing to go by. Nancy Grace out here knowing more than us. Okay. Nancy Grace done got an inside tip, child, whole photo, and we don't know nothing. Okay. Now, play the game of chess with them, but don't play it with us. Okay. We know what you're doing. Just don't tell us that we're going to have this, we're going to have that on a certain day and not follow through because you don't want to lose trust with the public. Do y'all understand kind of what I'm saying? Like, I agree with what he's doing because, yes, Mississippi does need to put theirs out first because they had Nolan's body first. They seem like they trying to wait it out. Okay. Well, toxicology reports take between 4 to 12 weeks to come back. Okay. So if we're going to play this waiting game, well, y'all, we may not even know anything from either party for another 2 or 3 months. I mean, how far y'all trying to push this out? Who's going to outwait? But y'all got us waiting too. Okay. Because that way we'll know how to guide our investigation, if that makes sense, here at our Open Book Detective Agency. We don't know what we need to look a little closer into. Okay, because we don't know nothing. We still speculating over here, over there. We going by what's been put out publicly, and none of that has been put out publicly yet. Okay, let's see here. Designed the corset. I cried when Nolan's mother spoke. I had to rewatch that part. Oh yes, that was so sad. They were so broken yesterday. Nothing. We need results in Jesus Christ's name. Exactly. Okay. Please tell us in the world. Okay, Lashandra said I Googled and it said results will be back Friday. Now, Lashandra, don't come on here putting something out there about Friday. Then we looking for results on Friday. Girl, we don't find nothing. I'm gonna be mad. Okay. Okay. Sheila said he's playing the game with Mississippi, and I can almost guarantee him and the family know they just don't want to put it out to the public until Mississippi releases theirs. No, I get that. Yes, Sheila. I get all of that. I know the game that they're playing, the waiting game and all of that. I'm not saying not to do that because every right they want to see what Mississippi came up with, right? They want to see if they're gonna lie and all of that. I'm saying don't tell us nothing. Okay. Leave us up out of that till y'all ready to tell us something. Does that make sense? Because baby, this 2 times I done been let down. And I was frustrated. I'm just being honest. Yesterday, okay, right? It was a closed casket, right? And nobody came out to dispel that rumor that those ladies put out about his body being beaten, possibly, allegedly, and torture or whatever. Nobody. Well, nah, that didn't happen. Okay, people out here, y'all need to quit spreading rumors and so forth. Yeah, no, we're gonna be patient, Karen Michelle. I'm just giving them a tip. Don't put us in the game. Okay, we on y'all side. All I'm saying, I don't. They mentioned a wrongful death lawsuit being filed. Can anybody find that? I haven't had time to research. I haven't researched that either. Okay. Welcome everyone coming in. If everyone could hit that like button, let everyone know we are live. Now, something else, although they did not tell us any results, okay, this is something else I thought about. From their reaction and the things you got to read between the lines too on some stuff, is we know that this was not just an accidental drowning. They are not going to offer award money for an accidental drowning. Okay. So I started thinking about something. We were talking about this last night. Depending on the state of his body, okay, and they've, preliminary results, and they've kind of peaked what is what, okay, because they've seen his body. They know that there was probably possibly some foul play. Now, this is where we got to key in the award money, okay? For the medical examiner to name it homicide, it has to be a combination of something. Body, also have to have a suspect. You have to tell the who, okay? Because all day long, if you have all this evidence that you don't have a person, guess what is going to be filed as? Undetermined. Okay? It's going to be filed as undetermined because you don't have a suspect. You don't have any people of interest. You don't have any. What findings do you have from your investigation? As of right now, we don't know what all the DA has, that they're supposed to present to the grand jury. But that's why they are now offering, I believe, award money, because they do know that this wasn't no accident. Okay. But we also got to key in on who would be a suspect to this, that, who did this, who did it. We got to get to that part. So if they don't have enough evidence right now, they need some people to speak up. They need y'all to come on and hurry up this process, because they are doing their own investigation, being Crump and his team. Now, I don't know what Mississippi has yet, but see, if they try to come at them with some, well, we couldn't find no evidence and nobody doing nothing, then guess what? They want to be able to say, oh, but here, we found this out in our investigation. Okay. So that is something else I thought about in relation to what would be the cause of death. Okay. How all of that, and why are they offering this reward money, especially after at least having preliminary autopsy results. Let's see. Jane said they told lots of lies, left him, boat was malfunction, kept car keys, and told Nolan's mother nothing. Okay. I believe they got evidence to arrest someone. That's why they put up the money. I believe the autopsy showed them that they just need to know who to arrest. Yes, right. That's what I'm saying, Sheila. Yes. Hey, Joski. They using these dates to put pressure on Jackson County. Why haven't we heard about search warrants for these people in houses? Hello. That should be something, because we're giving them plenty of people to look into. Come on, Q. Okay. Wyatt, Jax. Okay. Start with the people who had his stuff. Okay. Let's start there. Start also with the people that should have been with him. Okay, let's go there as well. There are a lot of people that could be looking into. Okay, a homicide is a homicide, whether they have a suspect or not. Yes, Nurse M, I agree. But when you go before the grand jury, when you go into a court of law, someone has to be put on the stand as, or, who, yeah, we could say it's homicide, but who we gonna put it on? You see what I'm saying? They want full justice. I get that. I get what you're saying. Yes. If undetermined, then next is a lawsuit, period. Also, while those teens there get rid of Facebook and TikTok photos once they had learned Nolan had died. And they need to go through a lot of that social media, to be honest. I hope the little rascals get drunk and tell it. Oh, come on, Clarinetta. Okay, because baby, when people get drunk, they start acting up. The Queens then said they have not filed an accidental lawsuit. Mom filed to be executive of his estate. Oh, okay. Thank you for that info. Wow, that's how I know in my heart it's more. Yes, I definitely believe it's more than drowning. And I think they already know that. We have to read between the lines. Hey, Lady Boogie, welcome, sis. We got to read between the lines. They know more to now get of was you got to have all of that court of law. So yes, and that they've been getting a lot of information from the tow company, Cito. Ooh, this here said that they had gotten a call from the boys for right back. For those of you who have not, that they got a call, they had it taken care of, and they, I think they put out their little audio. They could not done. We're not going to see how you look. Exactly. So, okay. Let's look at a little of this women. He's on this.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Lemon Live at 5. We thank you for joining us here live. We have been on basically the bulk of the day covering this Nolan Wells story, and we've been on this story like no one else has been. So make sure you hit the like and the thumbs up. It affects the algorithm. More people become aware of our conversation and our channel. There is another DL that has been covering this as well as many other stories over on his own podcast. It's called Uncertain. You can get it on YouTube, anywhere you get streaming. That's Mr. DL Hughley.
Hey, baby boy, what's happening?
Hughley joins us now. DL, what's up, brother?
Hey, I can't call it. I might spoil it. What's up with you, baby boy?
You know what? I talked about you today as we were watching the funeral, and we were discussing it. I know you meant it as a joke, but I think that you were also serious when you said, if you have one white guy in a group of all black people, we're going to make sure that that person is safe, just because that's who we are and we know what the consequences are.
We don't never lose white people. I'm pretty sure Robin Thicke got 2 black dudes watching him right now as we speak. I think I do think that it is because I think part of it is because of our allegiance. I think that if somebody has trusted you in a situation they don't feel necessarily comfortable in, then you take extra steps to make sure that they're all right. And I think that that's all anybody's asking. Listen, nobody knows to date what happened in this case, but I do know that if you have 4 people that leave and 3 come back, and nobody seems to have any concern about the whereabouts of one of their so-called friends, or has the person's mode of communication, that phone, and that doesn't seem mysterious, I think that there are questions at least. And I think that either they are horrible friends or horrible liars.
Okay, is my sound better, y'all? Okay, she's playing Don's video. Can y'all hear me? Put a 1 in the chat. Can y'all hear me? Hey, not about Brittany is in the building. Welcome. Let me make sure if y'all can hear me. Okay, y'all can. Okay. I must say, thank y'all. Yeah, sometimes when I start moving around a lot, getting animated with my talking, the sound where I'm located does that. So thank y'all for letting me know when it does that. Okay, because that means I need to calm down. Okay, so um I must say that thank y'all. Thank you for the celebrities that are now coming out that have been speaking up on behalf of this case. You know, the D.O. Hughley, Terrell Owens, T.O., okay, the former football player. He was even there at the funeral on yesterday. Tyler Perry, you know, Colin Kaepernick. I'm sorry, Kaepernick. Those, you know, these celebrities that are utilizing their platforms and speaking out because that all of account it applies as well. So
You know, I just don't think I think that all anybody's asking for, and my definitely my sympathies goes out to the Wells family and all that they're going through. In addition to all the stuff, all the unanswered questions, I think what is unfair to a family is having unanswered questions. We're not talking about somebody that you can point to and find out what happened. I think that it's only right and natural that anybody would want, any deliberative body as well as a parent, want to know what led to these circumstances. If at the very least to get some level of closure or to kind of avoid things like this happening again.
You believe something is not adding up with the stories?
It isn't that I believe it. Something isn't adding up. It isn't whether I believe it or not. I don't understand how you don't contact the parents and let them know what's happened. I don't understand how there's no sense of alacrity or concern. I don't understand how the parent and her sister or her friend had to find his phone, which should have been, if she were able to find where his phone was pinging, I don't know why a law enforcement agency wouldn't do it. And the thing that I found probably the most egregious was when law enforcement or the officials were saying there's no foul play here. The first thing they always tell us when there's a matter of law enforcement, they always tell us not to jump to conclusions. And that seems to be the very thing they did. How do you know there was no foul play? We don't have a toxicology report or an autopsy, but you can just say definitively that you don't believe that there was any foul play at all. What gives you the presumption of thinking that?
And that's a very good point. That's why Nolan's parents felt some type of way, because the police came out here already saying that they didn't feel that there was any foul play before there has been any autopsy, toxicology, them doing a thorough investigation. They did the same thing with Tyrone Davis, y'all. Before they could even look into these people who he was with, text messages, gotten any reports back, they had said, oh, it's a tragic accident, but we don't see, any foul play. And he's the young man that lost his life there in Florida. They said that he jumped from a moving vehicle. Child, we know that that is not even true based off of how his body looked. There were no bruises or none of that, but they never looked into it, and it's so unfortunate. Hey, Monica. So I agree. I'm glad that they took this route so that they could have another level of accountability, so that maybe they will now do a more thorough investigation. Right, Bridget? And good morning. She said they rushed to judgment right away. We not buying it. Exactly. I agree.
DL is Mississippi.
Yeah. And the truth about it is, Black kids coming up in Mississippi or Black people coming up in Mississippi is not uncommon. And they have a horrible reputation when it comes to that. I'm not saying other parts of the country don't, but I'm thinking you are judged by your history. The best indicator of what somebody will do is what they have done. And let's not pretend like they don't have certainly a dubious past when it comes to things like that.
One of his friends was on TMZ. I'm sorry, strike that. His coach was on TMZ, and he said there was no racial animosity or no racial animus at school. So he didn't believe that it was racial, as he said. I'm paraphrasing here. But he was not there. How does one know that?
That's my whole thing. Hey, man, I don't know what happened here. And I think all anybody is asking for is two things. One is clarity and a level of concern. Act like you care. Act like there's something urgent. A child, a person at the beginning of his life is gone. That is an unnatural thing. And it happened at a Dubai. I leave. I don't see you for a while. You come back floating. That isn't suspicious to you. That doesn't beg question. That doesn't have, that's something that I think should be a concern to everybody.
Mm-hmm. DL, this is let's see, the teammates arriving today. I want you to take a look at this. So that's the teammates arriving. I mean, but that's like his teammates from the school. That's a whole lot of brothers. And one would think just from the pictures that he was a guy that only hung out with white people. That does not appear to be, the entire story. But it's fairly diverse there.
As football teams tend to be, or athletic teams, period. If you had a white football team, they would call that rugby.
Or lacrosse.
Right. I think yes. It's not uncommon for us to see teams. Listen, one thing's for sure: Mississippi has a checkered past and a dubious past when it comes to black people, but not on the football field.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, one place I'm pretty sure they like black people is on Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah. All right. Look, I went to LSU, and the history of Alabama and LSU.
And we were talking about this last night on the Members Live. One part of the conversation kind of shifted. Y'all remember the guy who just got fired because of his racist rant about Nolan Wells saying that we do this and we do that. Remember during his little rant, he stated that they have these secret meetings. Now, of course, he said, it was all satire. Okay, I guess that's the new word for racist comments. But he said that, we get together in meetings, private meetings. We don't invite y'all. And we talk about, let's put this one over on this football team. Let's put this one over on this team. Y'all remember he said that? He said they talk about who to let on certain teams and things like that. I was like, it may have been a little truth to some of the conversations that they have. Okay. Not the stash demon. The stash demon. Okay. Yeah, that one. The one that lost his job trying to be Chud the Builder 2.0. Okay. Y'all remember that? Yes. He said that out of his own mouth. And I think some of the stuff he was saying, talking about they take him swimming and they take you into woods and camping and all of that stuff. Child, look, I think it was some truth to some of that stuff that he was saying. Okay.
I mean, they were getting their butts kicked, right? And so they had to allow black people on, not because they wanted them on, because they wanted to win.
Yeah, well, it happened with Alabama when he played USC and Sandbag Cunningham and Bear Brown. When I gotta give me one of them niggas. So they look at the entirety of the SEC. Like I said, if you didn't have, they may not want black people. They might want to roll back voters' rights, but they don't want to do that on the football field. They might not be able to find justice in the courtroom, but on the court or on the field, it seems to be where you need a proliferation of black people to be successful. And I think that's just baked to the equation. I cannot understand why there is a laissez-faire attitude about a child or somebody who's just out of being a child, somebody who was a year ago going to a pediatrician and now all of a sudden he comes up missing. And there seems to me, if it is that we all are our children's keeper, that we're a village, then I would think some courtesy and some.
Right. Okay. Come on now, Nika. Keep that point right there. Because get to the football talk, that conversation about something I found out. We were having this last night and I had to look up some stuff. I want you to remember I said that, okay? Because, hey, we looking for possible motives if this was a homicide as well. Yep, he told a lot of their secrets, and I'm sure they're upset with him for spewing that information. Okay, he became a liability, so they had to fire him, okay, and break that little bond that they had with
compassion, and also some level of urgency should be extended.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care. Like, to me, I don't care who's missing. I think that we should care that something like this happened. And the unfortunate part is, after this incident, you've seen a myriad of incidents where people are relaying similar stories, where people went out with. Well, first off, I don't think black people and white people should ever be on water together on any circumstance, unless they're in the Navy.
You said, DL, which is true. I mean, because look, I have white friends and they always want to go hiking. I'm like, why do y'all always want to climb something?
Right. Well, I don't think black people and white people should be in the wilderness together or water. Maybe we should stay away from W's, but the wilderness together. There are a lot of things we can do. That we can marry, we can hang out, we could work together, we could live together, all that kind of stuff. But we should never be on water or in the wilderness.
Yeah. Hey, what do you think? Look, I know that you have made room for the possibility that there, as you said, you don't know if there's race involved. You don't know what happened, but I certainly do think, and I keep saying this, there's a reason that there's a show called The First 48,
right?
Which is the first 48 hours of investigation, which they appear to have lost by saying, "Oh, we believe it's an accident. This is accidental," and they went no further than that.
Why did the mother have to find the phone? Why was it in an investigative body? If you have somebody missing and you know that the phone is missing, it was last. Why does she have to do what they should have done, which is and why does that person have that phone? And why is that not suspicious? Mm-hmm. I mean, you can't pry a phone out of an adolescent's hand and all of a sudden they have it. Mm-hmm. I just think, I think there are too many unanswered questions and they have a responsibility to answer them or to make sure somebody does.
Right.
I mean, they've handled this with dignity and with a strength that I have never seen, because as you know, just before we started our tour last year, my sister died. Right. Yeah, so, and I think we postponed a little bit, or I had to change because I just couldn't deal with it. But, this family has been, tremendous. That's all I can say.
And the sad thing about it, that is a fairly common refrain, serious? Whether it is,
y'all silly. You know what? He gotta let DL do his thing. Okay. He not saying that's how he feel, but DL gonna be DL. Okay. I'm tickled. Y'all talking about how he gonna be like that. He married someone. Yes, he does. He does. Shout out to Don Lemon.
The young man who was killed in the 50s, and his mother and how Emmett Till, and how she handled that with dignity, aplomb, and grace. I think that black people grieving gracefully is too common. But don't mistake our grief and our grace for a lack of concern. You can be grateful. I mean, the people, I'm sure they're spiritual people. I'm sure they believe in a higher.
Now, what y'all think about the conversation that's going on? There's one lady, she was doing a video, and she got some heat for it now. But she said that some people are comparing this situation to Emmett Till's situation, and she said that should not be happening because it's not the same thing. For the simple fact, Emmett Till, his mom wanted the world to see what they had done to her. Also say Kendrick Johnson's mom wanted the world to see what they had done to her son as well, as she's still fighting, y'all, to get justice for Kendrick Johnson. Now, what do y'all think? Because Christine did not allow any photos or pictures to be taken, and she had a closed casket. I mean, does that mean that she's not, in the same level of trying to get justice for Nolan? What are y'all's thoughts about that part of the conversations that are taking place?
Our power and giving them the strength to assuage some of this guilt, but the onus is on investigative bodies to make sure that what happened, when it happened, why it happened, and if something is foul, that somebody be brought to account for it.
And
I would want that no matter who. I wouldn't care what religion, what color, what gender. I wouldn't care what anything those things are.
I don't disagree with you. Dale, you've been covering this on Uncertain, and I would tell, I would encourage everybody to tune in, but you don't need my help. Shit. Your channel is going crazy.
It's doing all
The
right.
show is great. My mom and I watched this weekend and yesterday, and we were
Okay, so
laughing
I'm
at
gonna
what you said
stop
about,
there. Shout out to
black people.
D.O. Hughley and Don Lemon for that interview. Um, he gonna be him. Okay. One thing I can say about D.O., even on his show, y'all, they be saying some crazy stuff. I'm surprised D.O. still has a show. Okay. But he can get away with it. I think people know he gonna be him. She didn't want to do that to her child, but closed casket speaks a lot. Okay, Nene, thank you for tapping into that. She might just want to preserve his memory in life. She doesn't want the world to always think of her son's body. She wants them to think about who he was. Oh, that's a good point. I like that too. I feel since the autopsy report hasn't been put out, she don't want pictures out there, in my opinion. Well, hey, Nancy Grace has one, girl. Plus too many unanswered questions. Okay. I just feel that the casket should be closed out of respect for her and her family. But at the same time, if his body is the way people suspect, justice would be opening it for everyone to see. Ooh, Hinata, okay. I feel she's trying to preserve his image as it was already presented already. Okay. Even though Emmett Tillman wanted the world to see, she was the first person to let her son be shown like those criminals left him. I think everyone grieves differently. Okay, royalty. That's a good point too. Hey, skeptic. Welcome, sis. How have you been? Thank you for joining. I feel like that should be left up to the parent. Just because she didn't show his body doesn't mean she did something wrong. Right. Plus, the internet is wild now, so that would be everywhere. It definitely would be. Hey, y'all, if Nancy Grace has the photo, his photo is spread out. Okay. They may not have put it out publicly, but his photo is being spread out. I don't think that that's right. And they need to look into which law enforcement or person sent her those photos. Hey, Lisa, good morning. I think she is still protecting that community. Uh huh. Because she kept saying Nolan would want peace, so she knows what would happen. Oh, oh, Bridget, that's a very good point too. If we open that casket, oh my gosh, that those boys are not the way they taxes as well. Would it close too? Okay, T. Smith said, I don't think the Wansley family does not have the full picture of what actually happened in the Emmett Till situation. They knew exactly what happened, why, and the motivation. Got you. Okay, he was burned. That's why it was a closed casket. Okay. Yeah, she stated it, not about Brittany. She stated, we're gonna look at it. She said it on her own platform. Okay. I just seen an interview of the so-called anonymous caller that found his body. Child, they can miss me with that, Ray Ray. Okay, because I'm gonna have to listen to it. But yeah, they didn't want to disclose it. She said from a source, verb, yeah. She should not have that. Like I told y'all earlier, they're gonna find themselves in a case like Vanessa Bryant. She, baby, look, she wasn't playing. Okay, they were spreading out Kobe Bryant's pictures, probably the daughter too, sending those pictures to different people, and yeah, it made it to some public platforms also, and so they had to take those photos off. Hey, Angel, welcome. Hi, Mimi. We did not need to see the body. We are relying on the autopsy results. Right. I would have had an open casket. I would want, especially the kids, to see what was done to him. Because I was just saying too last night, in some cases when you go and have a funeral, your own personal life, and you don't get to see the body, to me, sometimes it doesn't feel like full closure. Like you never got a chance to see them. And sometimes that's a good thing. And then sometimes it's like a moment that you like, man, you just never got that full closure of seeing their body. I feel like we're in a different time and people disrespect the deceased. That's a good point, Shamika. Simple Google search of his name and the pics and comments will come right up. That is a very good point. No, they didn't, Shailene. They didn't. Yep, they have pictures out there, I'm pretty sure, that are being spread around. If it had made its way to Nancy Grace, they probably have made their way to TMZ, but TMZ has not shared anything, okay? Now let's continue. Now, y'all, yesterday was the funeral, and also it was the repast. Okay. Now, during this repast, some people went live, made some videos public. So I wanted to share. Now, his mom did say that the repast was invite only, and they were going to do a party. Okay, to celebrate Nolan. Well, when she said that, child, I didn't know what to expect because I'm not gonna judge or anything. But because I've never had it like this, okay? Just because I haven't been to one like this, I ain't judging nobody else's. But I have a few videos that I was gonna show y'all from this party. Now, in these videos, we're going to see some of the boys that we're gonna kind of discuss today. That Tracy, remember Trace Carter, okay? I think it's either Trace or Tracy, the one that was there when they found Nolan's body in the orange shirt, Jay Bond, okay? Jalen and some more of their friends are partying up a storm, okay, on the day that Nolan's funeral took place. All right, let's go. This is Trace Carter. All right, so that there is the one that was in an orange shirt. On the side, when I showed y'all, this the one that we didn't know that also went on the trip. Okay, this past weekend we played video footage from the guy that was breaking all of that down. And so they were, having some fun, dancing around him and a group of other friends. Here's another. Yes, that's the orange shirt and the gray shirt. Wait a minute. Wait, y'all said Clarinetta said, "Oh yeah, somebody tell him to get that money." Wait a minute. Nika said, "What in the footloose is going? What in the footloose is going on, child?" Footloose took me out of here. Okay. Oh my God. I seen some of this last night. I was delighted seeing them. Yes, I can say I'm delighted seeing them smiling and dancing. Child, I guess when she said party, literally, I thought it was more going to be like the whole tone of it, like light, like we're not going to be around crying and stuff like that. So when I saw it, I said, wait a second, this was the repast. This the repast, Lord. Look at the new watch. Okay, come on. That's why I said go to Jay Bond first. Offer him the 100,000. He'll start talking. Yes, right, Sugar Mama Main. That part, I thought about that. Like he wasn't there. It's just, they wouldn't get an invite from me. Girl, I haven't heard that song in a long time. But what I don't get is they got his body that Friday in DC. Hey, Miss KK. And Crumb said there was an issue with the airline. So how they get that autopsy done in time for the celebration of life? Well, the autopsy part, it doesn't really take as long as the toxicology. So it's been a good, almost 2 weeks, y'all? It's the 21st. Yeah, almost 3 weeks. So yeah. They probably got that part back. Nolan loved doing TikToks and dancing. Right, exactly. I think she did it out of respect of her child and not to make it a circus or a spectacle. Also, who needed to see his body saw it? Yeah, because they probably, Brandy and Welcome, they probably did like a private thing for the family. I give it until Monday. It's going to be a suspect. I know Ben's phone was blowing up yesterday. Okay. Make sure y'all vote in that poll. We're going to look at the results later. We have to remember he was still a kid. My aunt had a party when her 16-year-old son was unalive last year. Okay. Okay. So this is a thing. See, that's why I said I wasn't judging it because I'd never had anything like this or been to it like this before. I better see some tears when I'm looking down at my funeral. Come on now. Somebody better be crying at the funeral. If y'all gonna be partying like this at the repast, y'all better be crying at my funeral. Okay. You're supposed to celebrate his life, not the tragedy of his death. She said, I thought it was a school event. Nope. I would want this. Don't be sitting around crying, play Beyonce, and get a band. Okay. Here was another one. Now you do need some laughter. Go Jay Vaughn. He got earrings too now. There go them phones. Y'all see everybody got a phone out, child, but we ain't got no footage from the day of child. People be having these kids. I told y'all they be having these phones out for everything. Yeah, they do look like twins. They also, I shared it on my community wall. They took a picture with Judge Carlos Moore. Plus the way the other children see how you react will determine how they do. They weren't there. So that's probably because they didn't get an invite. Well, that's how we do it in South Florida. It's a block party all day and all night. Okay. So this is the norm for some people. Okay. Yeah. Like we don't cry a lot, at the repast, baby. People be trying to eat and all of that. So everyone does it in their own way. So, that was good to see, especially his siblings. You got to take your mind off of it and things. I just was caught off guard. I was like, what is this? What is going on? But they were really enjoying it. Okay. They were really enjoying it. All right. So let's get into it. Y'all take out y'all's notepads, all the detectives in the building, your pen, because we're going to get into a few inconsistent statements or some things that did not make sense to me. And maybe we could get a little clarity on some stuff. Now, I wanted to pull up this. I went back to a couple of the press conference that Nolan's parents did earlier on. And there were some things that I heard that perked my ears up because now, at this time when we first watched this, we had not had Tashima's statements. Okay. I had not had Jalen's post. So my ears perked up on something when I went back and looked at these press conferences last night. And I said, wait a second, I'm going to show y'all and y'all tell me y'all's thoughts. We're going to walk through this because something is off to me. Okay, so let's take a listen. This part is going to be, I want us to focus on the whole how they found the phone and the situation with the phone and who Nolan was supposed to be out there with.
City League sports together. When they got into school, they played sports together. And so she was like, hey, okay, the boys were pulling up the location from Snapchat. So the Snapchat location looks completely different than the Life 360 location. So when I pulled up Tashima.
Okay, here we go.
360?
So Life 360, but when I received the phone call from Warren, I immediately called my friend Tashima and I said, hey, have you guys seen Nolan? Because her two sons, Jalen and Javon, like they grew up together. They played City League sports together. When they got into school, they played sports together. And so she was like, hey, like, okay, the boys were pulling up the location from Snapchat. So the Snapchat location looks completely different than the Life 360 location. So when I pulled up Life 360, it was different. It was showing everywhere the phone had been. Like it had, I was like, well, it's showing that he's back on land. Like I'm not, he's like, but no, he didn't come back with us.
Okay, let y'all hear that little part again.
It had, I was like, well, it's showing that he's back on land. Like I'm not, he's like, but no, he didn't come back with us.
Oh, wait a second. Okay. So mom was looking up Life 360. Okay. She said it was showing Nolan's phone on land all over the place. Now, one question, and if they ever hear this and that's something they can look into, is where was it pinging on land? Okay. Another thing. Okay. Another thing is, were one of the spots that it pinged on land pinging to Tashima and the boys, or the boys? Because then she had called her friend Tashima and she said, no, he did not come back with us. So did mom think that Nolan was going to come back with those boys? Okay. I never heard that Warren called them mom. Yes, she did. She said it on one of her interviews that she spoke with mom. Okay, Monica, you caught it. Let's listen again. Okay. Because see, some people were not believing that he went down there with these friends. Okay. But on this first interview, she's telling Kondo what led her to call Tashima.
It looks completely different than the Life 360 location. So when I pulled up Life 360, it was different. It was showing everywhere the phone had been. Like it had, I was like, well, it's showing that he's back on land. Like I'm not, he's like, but no, he didn't come back with us.
Well, how were you able to get the phone?
So we tracked it and my friend Tashima went and picked it up.
Okay. Now, she tracked it. Okay. It seems like it was showing he was supposed to be back on land with them, but then they checked it and said, no. It's at a different location showing with Snapchat. Okay. Let's see here. It probably pinged everywhere that boat went because the phone was still with them. Yes. Okay. Sugar Mama May, hold that point. Hold that point because you're going somewhere. Okay. Because we do know that the phone was allegedly found in Wyatt's truck. Okay. So the phone was all over the place. But for some reason with the Life 360, we'll get to that. I don't want to rush through that part, but just keep that thought. Okay, keep that thought. Wait, was that her friend Tashima being interviewed with the son? Yes. Because I'm gonna show that I am that somebody. Okay, right. See, lady, he gone. I ain't even anybody y'all seeing coming in here being disrespectful. Child, look, we not no warnings. Okay, now if you come in with a different opinion, that's different. If you come in being disrespectful to anyone, it's an automatic, you're blocked. We're not even playing it today. Yes, that's what I've been saying. Warren mom called Nolan's mom to make sure it was okay to give her the phone. Oh yeah, y'all talk about that part. Okay, so let me continue with this part. Okay, so she said he did not come back with us. I want y'all to hear that part.
It was different. It was showing everywhere the phone had been. Like it had, I was like, well, it's showing that he's back on land. Like I'm not, he's like, but no, he didn't come back with us.
Well, how were you able to get the phone?
So we tracked it and my friend Tashima went and picked it up.
It wasn't like they said, we got his phone, they tracked it. And that highlights all these contradictions, Michael. The fact that they said Nolan was talking to a young woman and she said that he said, I'm going back to get on the boat with the boys. The boys said that he said he was going to stay with her. And so that's an obvious contradiction. And then this video of this, you can hear.
Now notice they cut. I wanted her to explain more about. We got dropped right there. He was supposed to come with y'all. Okay, now let's go over here. Let me go. Hold on. Give me 1 second. To Tashima's. Right. 1 second. Okay, let's go here right quick.
Is why he would have left his cell phone behind. And you say you were the person who actually went and retrieved that phone for the family. How'd you get your hands on the phone? Where was it?
That is correct. Christine called me and told me, hey, where are the boys? Nolan hasn't been heard from since such and such time. Where are your boys? I said, well, Javon is with his girlfriend, and I just spoke with Jalen, and they are headed to downtown, which I was literally getting ready to get in the shower to go downtown as well.
Mm-hmm.
She said, well, Nolan hasn't been. So I instantly called with Christine on the phone, Javon. Javon said no, he hadn't seen Nolan
Mm-hmm.
since early on the island. And he was like, what? Are y'all serious? He was like, yes. And so Christine intervened in the conversation, said, Nolan has not been heard from since he left the island. So Javon was like, well, that's, I've seen it. I haven't seen it since then. Again, everybody goes their separate ways. So I then hang up from Javon because obviously there's nothing he can say to tell me anything. So then Jalen, I call him.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen did not answer the phone. Christine again is on the phone. Jalen did not answer the phone. LeBaron, he didn't answer the phone. I called LeBaron, which is their other friend, LeBaron Broomfield. He answered. He said, Jalen is in the gas station. Hold on. So he said, hey, Jalen, Mom on the phone. So he was like, Jalen, like, what's up, Mom? What's going on? I was like, hey, have y'all heard from Nolan? They said, no, we have not heard from Nolan.
But where was the phone?
So I was like, well, so that's when we started.
Why every time we get to that part, they are being cut off, y'all? Like, we never can connect those dots because Michael did the same thing, okay? While she's explaining the whole part about them being there and them together and, how it's like these interviewers are cutting them off at critical times, okay? Because she's like trying to get to, well, where was the phone? Okay, but she's trying to lead up to that because we want people to talk. We want them to get it out because, look, the more you let people talk, the more you can be like, okay, let's connect this dot. But she cut her off as well.
Well, for Christine, it said one place, but for them on Snapchat, it showed another place. So that's the place we went to. And it showed that everybody that was in.
And I think it showed to where those boys were. Okay, that's why she contacted her. But for some reason now, the Snapchat is now open, or wherever that phone was open. And that's how they were able to find the location of where it was, if they weren't already there with it.
In the house, it was like a lot of people there. Like I'm not familiar with all the kids.
Mm-hmm.
I only know like one there, but it showed that the phone was at what a lot of people were at. So that's how we knew where to go to. We went there. They were all there. They were sitting there, lights off, watching TV.
Did they immediately give you the phone? Because
she keep cutting her off. Now, I wonder, because she never said whose house it was. I'm wondering if we're thinking about the pool party. Let's assume that pool party story was correct. Was it that house, okay, where all of these kids were? You had kids in the house, possibly, kids in the pool, possibly. I don't know, because she never said whose house. What she is going to say is it was in Wyatt's truck. Well, could Wyatt's truck have been over to that house? Because we're trying to see how did his property, now we kind of know with the keys situation because he spent the night over there with the keys in the car over there, right? But the whole phone situation is a whole little mystery as well. Welcome everyone coming on in. Thank y'all so much for tapping in today. Okay, let's see here.
Knowing that phone was there.
It took about 15. They gave me the phone, but it took about 15 minutes to get the phone because I even asked, I'm like, did y'all have to walk back to Horn Island to get the phone, or like, where's the phone? Because it took so long when they said it was when Wyatt told me it was in his truck. It took him so long to get the phone back to me.
Okay, now bookmark that. Okay, so she said her son Jalen was downtown. Javon didn't have no more information. Now, Mama should have read her son's post from the 7th because something clicked in my mind, okay? As I was trying to connect these pieces, I was like, okay, Christine was saying, you know, the Life 360 was pinging over to a location, it was all over the place, and it was showing on land. She then contacted Tashima. Now, she was shocked because remember, she was like, and I was like, huh? And then because Tashima said, no, he didn't come back with us. That's what I guess the boys were saying. He didn't come back with us, okay? But then when you go to the actual interview, okay, it's like, oh, they're, you know, in different locations and she's having to call them and get this information from them. But they didn't know. Nobody had seen Nolan since they left. Well, Jalen, Tashima's older son, said, man, this is hard. On July 4th, my brother right here, Nolan Wells, was missing. That same day, on July 4th, I went out looking for him for hours. No sleep for 3 days straight. Wait a second. Wait. Your mom just said that she contacted you and you were downtown with one of your friends. So, at what point were you, for one, looking for Nolan, okay, for hours, if his mama allegedly didn't even find out till after 11, but you have been looking for him for hours? Another case in point, Christine was supposedly on the phone when she contacted Tashima and Tashima was contacting her boys. Why is it that Jalen would not have said, well, we've been looking for Nolan. I don't know where Nolan was. I was out there looking for him for hours. That is quite interesting. Okay. Then he goes on to say, I don't want to blame nobody but myself. I have been for myself because I left you, Nolan, and my blood brother out there on that water. So where again was he, Tashima? Because somebody got some explaining to do. If you are saying that you called your son, right, throughout the night, if you're saying you called your son, just make it make sense for us. That's all we're saying. You said Christine was on the phone. You called your sons. You called Jalen. Jalen, for one, didn't even answer the phone for his own mama, okay? She had to call a friend. The friend then, I guess, tells Jalen, your mama on the line. Your mama calling. But they were allegedly downtown. But he said right here that on that same day that they had been looking for Nolan for hours. Okay? So then my thing is, Why would you have not let Christine know? Well, we didn't know where he was either. I left, okay, because see, he's admitting he left Javon, which is his blood brother, and he left Nolan there on that water. Okay, we have a lot of questions now at this point. Who did you leave with? Why did you leave them there? When you left Javon and Nolan behind, who were Javon and Nolan supposed to be with? Were they supposed to get a ride back from some of these other boys? Because I'm trying to connect. How is Javon around in a lot of these connections? Okay. How he was still there. According to Javon, he was still there because he said after whatever happened, because he never said what, he said he went to go check on Nolan and he noticed that the boat was gone. Okay. Never really said why he was going to check on Nolan. But I find it odd that Jalen was there and it seems as though they were all supposed to be together. Even his mom was just saying that, looking like, okay, is he with y'all? And they're saying, no, he didn't come back with us. Okay, that's suspicious in itself. Then you have Tashima saying, well, I'm calling the boys. Jalen saying he downtown. And then she saying she going to meet him. Okay, I don't know what they were doing downtown that time of night. Okay, they were going downtown. She was taking a shower. She was going to meet her son. You would have thought at that time that it would have been stated that, look, we've been looking for Nolan for hours. I remember I left him and Javon out there, so I really don't know what had happened. But he's saying that he's blaming himself because he left Nolan and Javon out there on that water. He says, I know I probably couldn't have did much, but boy, I love y'all both to the moon and back. What do you mean you probably couldn't have did much? What does that mean? What does that mean? I mean, what's much? I mean, weren't y'all supposed to just come back together? Okay, so what happened? Why did you get out of there so early? Who did you get out of there with? And who was Javon supposed to ride back with? Who was Nolan supposed to ride back with? Okay, I think they were horseplaying on that boat and he fell off, possibly. Monica said right, because first she said they were with her. Yes, Monica, the mom said that in another interview that they were with them. Okay, the boys were with Tashima. Okay, now one is downtown and one she called it. I don't even know what Javon was. Notice she said the location of Jalen. She never said, all she said was Javon was with his girlfriend. Which girlfriend? Now, also, okay, when I was looking at, and I'll probably get to, I may show that part on here, when they were all trying to get the keys, okay, when Nolan's dad was over there and trying to get the keys, there was a group of people over there. Now, remember, we heard the dispatch calls, okay, and we heard the dispatch calls. There was a commotion. They said it was about to get physical. I don't know if y'all remember that. It was people they could hear in the background. And also Nolan's dad, I think when I get to that interview press conference, I'm going to show y'all that part, says that some of the boys that were there, because Tashima and them, Christina, all of them were going over there to meet up because it was at a different location than the actual phone. I believe Javon was there. And he said one of the boys that he was with had the girl on the phone and the girl said where the keys were. I said, wait a second. I thought it was one of the boys at Jackson had a girl call, because I said, well, who was the girl? So who is the girlfriend? We need to find out who's that girlfriend. How did she where the keys were? Were they all together there at some point? How did she know where Nolan's keys were? So we'll get to that part. I wanted to first point this part out, that somebody is leaving out some information. Okay. On one hand, you say, hey, I was downtown. I don't know where Nolan is. But on another hand, see this post, you messed up. You messed up with this post. You said that you were looking for Nolan for hours with an S. Okay. His mama didn't find out till 11. So you had been out there, that would have been a perfect time to say, well, we thought he was missing too. And why? We got another question. Why y'all not out there still looking? What you doing downtown? Okay, what are you doing downtown? And were y'all eating at any point? Were y'all the ones somebody saw eating or something like that? Like, make it make sense. If you already said you feel guilty, okay, or you feel like you want to blame yourself for leaving Nolan and Javon on that water, make it just make sense. That's all we're asking. We're not accusing of anything. It's just not adding up is what we're saying. Okay, let's see here. Let me see what y'all saying real quick. I wonder if everybody came back from the island after 4, and when Nolan didn't come back, he went looking for him. Then by the time 11 p.m. came, they told someone he was missing. Possibly. Okay, what does he mean? I know I couldn't have done much. That part, phenomenal Scorpio. Maybe he just meant for hours into the next day, because didn't the dad say when he went to get the keys, some of his friends were already there trying to find out where Nolan was? Well, that goes with the post. They had already been knowing. But my point also is, how come they didn't tell the mom that? Okay, when she was on the phone with Tashima never said, oh, my son said that they were looking for Nolan. Okay, now that would make sense that they were already at the house looking for him. Okay, something had already happened. Did y'all cover the guy who came out and said Nolan was wasted? I'm sorry. No, we need to know if this kid left before the other boat did at 4:30. Exactly, that part. Okay. Why not call the parents and say your kid is missing? Right. They told Javon the boat was full, but my question is, who said they were supposed to come back with Javon specifically? All they said is Nolan didn't come back with them. How could they on 2 different boats? Well, it appears as though the mom, when she tracked it with Life 360, she used it. She said it was all over the land, and she called her friend. Okay. Well, she said, no, he didn't come back with us. Well, why is the mom calling on Life 360? That's why we need to know specifically, and we don't know that part. Okay. So we can't say for sure on that. Did it ping somewhere in that vicinity? Because then she said, no, we have to look on Snapchat. His phone is not here with us. That's when they opened up Snapchat and was like, no, this is the location, which is odd that Tashima would just go over to somebody's house. She said she don't know all these people and didn't have a police officer or something with her, because I would have been scared. Okay, you don't know whose house you're going to and all of that. Yeah, I know I couldn't have done much. For what? What were you trying to do much about? Okay, what happened? Do you know of an incident that you could have possibly helped with? It's just we have questions. A lot of their statements and posts are very telling. Yes. Okay. Yes, there were multiple boats. They could not have come back together because each boy was on a different boat from what it sounds like. Well, when they went down, they never specified, y'all. We still don't have a list of boats and people yet. Okay. What we do have is Javon said him and Nolan were supposed to ride on the same boat. However, his boat filled up and Nolan had to get on another boat. We don't know who was all on Javon's boat. We don't know whose boat Nolan got on. So we really don't know any of that. Okay. No, it was a fight or a jump. Maybe did he need to help Nolan with a fight? Possibly. Javon was with Nolan, according to his brother, who left him out there. Exactly. We know he seems to have been still out there. Come through, prosecutor, open book. You're asking all the right questions. Look, we just have questions. We're not accusing anyone. These are questions so that we can keep moving forward with this. Okay. He left them with the YT boys on the island to get back. And then why did he leave them? I'm just curious to know what made him leave. Which one of the boys said, be careful? Trace Carter. Yes, Vert. That's the one that was dancing up a storm at his repast yesterday. And then Javon say Nolan is older than me. I think so, LaShonda. Verb, you silly. Slimming that pin. Allegedly, the GPS caught the boat moving at 100 miles per hour. Really? Oh my gosh. I think he went with the dad and coach to go look. Okay, clock it. All right. So that was one thing that I wanted to highlight. Okay, let's get to, so we'll see if we have more answers. Okay, let's see. Let's get to this part. Because something I can't shake, and I've shared this with you all, is what was it about Monday? I just feel like they didn't want Nolan to make it to that Monday. Monday, he had a big opportunity coming. Okay. Now, I'm going to play this part first and go over this information first because I think that his dad speaks a little later in this press conference with the whole key thing. Well, let me do the key thing first because then I'm going to get out of order. Okay. Let me see. Let me write down my timestamp. Let's go to where he talks about the keys and the whole boy with the phone call from the girl. My bad. I should have done that first. Okay, here it comes.
If you didn't go to the ER after a car accident, listen up. I got $96,000 for my accident in 57 days.
Okay, so the situation with the key. When we got to the house, a few of his friends, they were already there. And they were at the door in the house, asking questions. So when I walked up, they were getting,
So a few of his friends were already there. They were in the house.
Things are getting kind of tense. So I turned to them and told them, I need you guys to calm down. I don't do this to me right now. I need them to kind of trust me so they can give me something. So I was able to calm them down. So the guy he's in one of the pictures, but he came out of the room, half asleep or whatever, I think Jax or whatever. And I said, look, I'm Nolan's father. I'm here to get his keys so I can get his car. I said, he's like,
his car was in the yard.
His car's parked in the yard. So he was like, I don't know, man. Nolan's like my brother. I said, well, if Nolan was like your brother, would you please go in your room?
And that's weird too. Okay. That's weird too. For him to use past tense, Nolan was like my brother. What do you mean? What do you mean? So had these boys been there already asking questions like, man, where's Nolan? Or did he already know that something had happened to Nolan because Jax was already using past tense as if he was talking about Nolan in the past tense? Okay, pay attention to that too.
And said, you can find my son's keys so I can take his car home. He walks off, 2 or 3 minutes, come back. I can't find the keys. I said, okay. So at that point, I get the boys and I get to move them out the house because I didn't want them to go into the house and start tearing up these people's houses because then that would be a whole new situation. So walk outside by the car. One of the guys that was in the house with us, he was on the phone with a girl, and the girl told him that Nolan's keys were on top of this Jax guy's Xbox.
So he said one of the guys who was in the house with them was on the phone with a girl. That girl had then told them where Nolan's keys were. Okay, so who was that? Okay, that person is critical to this. Who was the girl? Those people there, okay, is very crucial because if Jackson's saying he doesn't know the keys, well, was this girl here at any point in time? Who was the friend or who was that he pulled out the house that was, in the house with them that was on the phone? Okay, so that's something that stood out to me with that part. Yes, Darnell, we're going to get to that. Remember, Javon said on TMZ, people were accusing him and then he stopped talking. Okay, Trayson's boat left first. Okay. At the house when Nolan's dad was there, there's a huge giveaway. What, Bro Jay? And welcome. What I'm confused about is Nolan spent the night at YT house. Why would it be assumed he'd come back with Javon or his brother? They all met up to go there. I don't know at what point, how all of this works. We're gonna meet up. Cause I mean, do we know if Javon was on a boat with one of the YT boys? I don't know. Cause remember, Nolan's dad said he doesn't have a boat and he doesn't have friends that have boats. So how did Javon get there? Okay, so these boys hang together, so we really don't know whose boat Javon was on. So as far as like going together, just like hanging out, all going together. You see what I'm saying? He could have met up over there, or they met. I don't know the whole logistics of that part. I'm only going with what they are saying. That's all I can go with on that. I don't have any other logistics. Then why doesn't Crump want to talk to them kids or their attorneys? He needs to. He needs to talk to their attorneys. Yeah, because her and her boys know something. Somebody has probably been threatened. Yes. Nolan didn't go to the island with Javon, his brother, or Tristan. So I'm asking, why would he be coming? Well, Javon said it in an article. He said this. That's what I'm saying. I got that from the Sun Herald. We've already talked about this part. He said that they were supposed to be on the same boat, y'all. For those of you who missed that part, okay? He said he was supposed to be on the same boat with Nolan. That's where I got that from. And then I'm connecting when the mom just said on that interview and said that they said, oh, he didn't come back with us. Okay, so that's how we're connecting that dot. So I'm not adding anything. I'm just going with what they've put out there. And whatever they put out there, if it's a lie, it's a lie, y'all. I mean, hey, that kid was not sleeping now. She must have placed the keys there. Was this the night of the event or the next morning? Well, it was the night of the event / going into the next morning. Because it was really at this time, that was early morning, July the 5th. Yes, when all of this started happening. Shout out to Sandra. Thank you so much for the gems and for you being a sponsor for today's live. Jack said no, the past tense. Yes, like he was present when something happened to him. Come on now. Well, she probably feel the family saw him. She don't want nobody else to see him like that. Oh, you talking about the other about her having the open casket? Okay. Ian says because they were all supposed to go to the pool party. Ooh, okay, that could be a possibility. Who made the call when the boat was sinking? Yep, I want to know that too. Javon was initially going on the same boat with Nolan, but the YT told Javon's boat was full, so Javon took another boat. I'm confused. Why were these grown boys having sleepovers and slumber parties? You know what? I am that somebody. Girl, you're going to take us off on another. Oh my God. Well, allegedly, Wyatt was saying that Nolan had been staying with him for the past few years. So I don't know, child. I mean, he was in college. So, hey, I don't even know if that's true or not. Did one of the boys that did an interview say they didn't have to do Nolan like that? Yes. Right. Okay. So let's continue.
Father, I'm here to get his keys so I can get his car. I said, he's like,
His car was in the yard.
his car's parked in the yard. So he was like, I don't know, man. Nolan's like my brother. I said, well, if Nolan was like your brother, would you please go in your room and see if you can find my son's keys so I can take his car home? He walks off, 2 or 3 minutes, come back. I can't find the keys. I said, okay. So at that point, I get the boys and I get moved them out the house because I didn't want them to go into the house and start tearing up these people's houses because then there would be a whole new situation. So walk outside by the car. One of the guys that was in the house with us, he was on the phone with a girl, and the girl told him that Nolan's keys were on top of this Jack's guy's Xbox in the house because apparently she was there with him earlier. So he goes back up to the door by himself, and 5 minutes later, the keys come out. So now I feel like you done lied to me. So now I'm really like in distress with you. But
I'm curious to know about that. If you said, are you saying Jalen, the older brother? Okay. You think he was on the boat with Tristan when they left out first? Okay, who is Trayston because the parents don't know him. Okay, right. He was the one that allegedly said he was getting into a fight. And then, they broke, kind of was selling him to get on. And then he wanted to come back once he saw all of the commotion and his friends were defending him on shore. He wanted to come back. And he said, that's him that we hear in the background saying, let me off this effing boat. Okay, that's Trayston. But it seems as though his parents and grandfather didn't even know who Trayston was. And his grandfather thought that that was an AI picture. Okay, so I don't know. So who is Javon? I need someone. If y'all know the answer to this, maybe I missed it somewhere. Who did Javon stay behind with? Whose boat was he supposed to be on? His brother is saying he left early. So if this is possible that Trayston and Jalen, his older brother, left him and Nolan there, okay, well, who were they supposed to come back with? That's what we're missing too, right there.
As far as their night goes, if I knew anyone who had a boat, I would have went out that night looking for my son. We tried, but I don't have friends with boats. But if I knew someone with one, I would have went out that night. And this so happened that his coach saw all the stuff on Facebook that next morning and called and contacted me at like 5 a.m, asked me, did we want to go out? And I told him yes. So within an hour, he was at the dock.
So
we met him.
that's the part I wanted to let y'all listen to about what he said with the girl was on the phone with a guy that they had all went outside. I don't know which one of the friends that was and which girl that was. Okay. Now, the other part that I want to focus in on, y'all, is this
people think, therapy can't help me. What's going to therapy going to do for me? There's such a parallel between
this whole Monday thing. Okay. For some reason, I can't shake the Monday that was coming up, that Nolan was about to go into something big. Some big stuff was about to happen for him, right? And so for some reason, if we're thinking that this could be a potential homicide, okay, I'm like, well, what would be a possible motive? For some reason, I feel that these have been boys that have hung out together. Okay, one group of boys he's grown up with. The other group, they've hung out throughout high school. Not to say people can't turn on you and do some evil to you. I say they've been to Horn Island. His parents have said they've been out there before. By now, they should know the rough parts of Horn Island, where to go, and so forth. So I said, well, what was it that Nolan was about to come into that Monday? Like it was almost a stepping stone into a new season. So Benjamin Crump is going to explain some of that. And then I was going to kind of share with y'all my thoughts on this whole possible like motive or something of him not being here for that Monday.
We're going to make sure that we get to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, because Nolan deserves it. You're going to hear his mother and father talk about what a wonderful young man he was. I mean, doing everything right. Reverend Al, he was not only a college student, he was a great athlete. He was a model big brother for his brothers and little brothers and sisters. And he was a great son who was on the cusp of becoming a man. I mean, Christina Elmore did everything to prepare him for this moment. He was so close. He was right there. You're going to hear his father talk about him had a good football season last year, but this season he was really ready to go to the next level, to go to Division I. I mean, the highlights that you're seeing on social media of his athletic prowess, I mean, it is all relevant, because when you start talking,
it is all relevant. Okay. So Nolan last year had a great season. Okay. This year, he was supposed to go into football camp, tryouts, and so forth, because even his father talked about how Nolan wanted to do some great things for his family. Like he wanted to make it big. And he was laughing, saying, okay, man, slow down. Let's make sure you train and be prepared for all of this. So he was working hard. They talked about how this weekend was his last hurrah before stepping into one of these important times of his life, because he was about to try to make it and go to Division 1. Now, last night, shout out to the members, okay, that had to give me a frame of reference for what all of this means. I don't have kids that are in football, or none of my close family that I know, played football, right, like that, or in college playing football. However, some of the members have either children or friends that play football. It was kind of giving me some information about how this works, because I didn't know certain things, okay? So I said, okay, he said specifically that Nolan was about to go into Division 1. He was trying out to go into Division 1. Now, over recent years, I would say like throughout recent years, okay, college athletes, including some junior college athletes, he went to Southwest Community College, okay? Southwest Mississippi Community College. So some junior colleges, okay? These athletes, depending on applicable state law and governing rules, may earn money through NIL opportunities. So I said, what is NIL? Because, child, that's a foreign language to me. I don't know anything about this. My husband, child, he watches the Cowboys. That's my frame of reference. That's all I got. Okay. I don't know. So NIL is name, image, and likeness. Okay. Now, that is different from a school kind of secretly trying to pay recruits to attend, okay? But they could literally get paid for it. So it says, all right, now, a Division 1 school generally has the largest athletic budget, biggest fan base, and most media exposure. As a result, athletes at these schools often have access to much larger NIL opportunities. Okay, so that means that you could earn either hundreds of thousands of dollars, or in some cases, even millions through endorsements and NIL collectives. Okay, so a football player at a community college might earn a few hundred or a few $100,000 from like local businesses, youth camps, or social media promotions if those opportunities are available. And notice that Benjamin Crump, he had even stated that they were sharing Nolan's, his highlights and so forth on social media already. So he could have possibly, y'all, this had been a step into Division 1, could have been a step to open up and change his whole life. Like I had to look up that stuff because I didn't know what that meant going into Division 1. Okay. The motive, right? Envy, jealousy, strife. And remember, I believe they said allegedly Warren is a rival. He's he attends a rival school. Okay. Who, and I keep bringing this up for a reason, who would benefit, who would get into position if Nolan was no longer here to be in that spot? See, that's where you're going to have to start looking. Like, who's about to get a come up this season? Who's about to be in the number 1 spot? Who is it that has a high stake in this and him not making it to Monday? Okay, let's see what y'all saying. What was Nolan Jr.? Oh, okay, I said that. Southwest Mississippi Community College. Nolan was on one of those boats. Your boat was towed out and then resumed functional. That was the confusing part. Right, they lied about that. Another thing, even if he had left, the water is too shallow to drown. Nolan was 6'2". He would have had to be far out. One thing about the autopsy, it will tell the truth. Exactly, because that Cajun man, he said that it starts in like 3 feet, but then it goes out 20 feet. You could just step down because it's like you don't know when it's going to go into 20 feet. But around that area, it is shallow. Let's see. Ann said, notice pics with the YT boys are all posed for a pic, and Nolan is always in the center of all of them. Yes, with pics and videos with his other friends. Nolan was dancing, singing, laughing, and smiling. And I don't know if y'all peeped this. His mom also said that I was telling Nolan that, he has a big heart, and sometimes that can be not working for you. You got to pay attention, because she said she noticed that these friends, Nolan would be sharing their things, but they rarely shared Nolan's videos and pictures. Do y'all remember her saying that? And I said, so he was being known on social media. He was about to come into this new camp he had been training for, preparing for. He had it, he had zeroed in on, this is my opportunity to do what I said I want to help my family and so forth. So who would have a stake in this of him not being here for that spot? Okay, because it's so ironic that it was the same weekend. Come on now, it was the same weekend right before. They had been out there before. They had been to Horn Island. This wasn't the first time. Those kids know that island. They know those currents. This wasn't the first time they all hung out on that island. This is not the first time he's hung out with those friends. This is not the first time they've all gotten together and gotten into arguments and talked about each other. What was different about this time? Okay, well, one factor that's different is Nolan was about to go into something huge, a potential life-changing moment in his whole football career, and they did not like that. Right, OB? He had a chance for the NFL. Come on now. Hey, the highest point. I'm in the bushes. She said they all betrayed Nolan, and they are still betraying him by not speaking up. They know what happened. They are lying. Exactly. Thank you. Joseph, he said NIL can set you up. Life. Come on now. Video games, jerseys, merch, endorsements, not to mention NFL scouts looking at you. Come on. You better say it. And notice how at his funeral, come on, what all did they have positioned around the funeral? They had all of his jerseys. They were showing these pictures, football pictures and things like that. Notice someone even brought this up. T.O. Okay, come on. He's now in this thing. Okay, Terrell Owens. He's a former football player. Allegedly, those football boosters take good care of those star football players. Okay. Who sent the first pic to the police? That was Christine, Vicky, because I don't know if you were on here when we were listening to Dispatch, and Dispatch had said that mom received a picture of, the color shorts he has on. We're going to send that picture out. I think that's when those parents got alerted that these boys may be, being accused of being the last one with Nolan, when that picture went out to those agencies when they were doing that search. Warren goes to a different school, has no effect on the NIL. Well, think about this. How in close proximity, if you go to a different school, okay, and y'all are rival teams. I don't know, because like I said, y'all, some of this I'm thinking through, so y'all let me know. How in close proximity are their schools? And if he was like, I'm just saying, I'm not saying this is the case, I'm just using it as an example. Let's just say Nolan, if he was now in Division I or anything like that, I don't know if Warren's school is a Division I, but let's just say they have scouts, okay, looking in the area, and these are competing schools. Well, if Nolan was number one on their radar, and Warren, he's good, but not as good, and we know Nolan has the charisma, personality, likable and all of this. Well, if Nolan's not there, but you have another one on another team that could possibly look like, hey, he might be the one we go with. I don't know. I don't know if it's a scenario like that, like possible scouts were looking at certain players and they knew Nolan was coming now into this Division One. I don't know that part. Yes, Chad, I peeped that too. Like, why is Nolan always in the middle of the YT's pictures and also why are they always touching him? Yes, that was weird. I'm still trying to figure that out, bro. Jay. I think they're playing a game of chess. Fame, and they were jealous. Warren wasn't eligible for the same deal. Okay, because Warren didn't play college. Oh, okay. Al Bundy, high school hero. Okay, so if it's not Warren, is there any of the other ones? What about Trace Carter? You know, I know he's playing football and trying to do good. I don't know all of their stats as far as where they are in their game, you know, if they're college, high school. So I was just thinking that part through. But this other part, okay, let alone the competition part, you know, that could be one thing. But the opportunity itself, who could benefit from him not getting that or being in that role or that position? Okay, let's see. Nolan went to the island in November 2025, February, and July 4th. Okay. Thank you, Peggy. Nolan seemed very disciplined and he probably had a bright future. I agree. Vicky, go listen to the dispatch calls. Okay, that's my suggestion. Go listen to the dispatch call, and the lady specifically said the mom has gotten the photo. His mom said a girl. She never said which girl. Now, if that's what you're asking, I don't know who sent the mom the photo. Okay, but his mom, the dispatch said his mom has a photo. I guess she gave it to the police or something, but then they started sending the photo around just to show the color shorts because they were saying black shorts. The whole point of that photo was to show he had on blue shorts. Okay, all I can say is just go listen to the dispatch calls. Let's see, the mom sent after the fact. It could be division, not school. Okay. Did Warren and Nolan play the same position? That's what I don't know either. I don't know that part. Anyone could have been jealous because his light was shining bright than any of the other friends. Okay. Allegedly, the YT on boat with Nolan were all college friends. Okay. Can y'all hear me? Testing. Put a 1. Can y'all hear me? He said lost connection. Put a 1 in the chat. Can y'all hear me? Okay, y'all can. Okay, because he was saying that I lost connection. I thought he was talking to me. Thank y'all so much. I don't care what nobody says. Christine needs to keep her eyes on her friend and her friend's son. Come on now, Stacy. Okay, thank y'all so much. Hey, my thing is, if anything, hey, Latte, if anything, keep your eyes out on all of these people. Okay, because like, hey, we've seen it happen where even close friends. Look at the Shanquella Robinson case. You know, I know we keep going back to that, but that's an example. Those friends went with her, but never came back with her and left her there. And then came back like they didn't know what happened. All up in the mama face. But then when the viral video comes out, oh, y'all scattered. Turn the light on, the roaches start scattering. Okay? Can't find them today. They all probably living miserable lives, okay? Because they left her there and did not tell the full truth. So sometimes the people in close proximity, you gotta watch. You gotta watch them, okay, as well, and be fully honest so that they can get to the bottom of what happened. I think Christine should come off social media for a while because it can get nasty. It's going to really be heartbroken when the truth comes out. and the girl in the hotel. Wait, a girl in the hotel? Who, Kiki? All right, y'all. And for our last video, who, child, we're going to head over to Nancy Grace. Now, I can say on this Nancy Grace, she was giving some good pushback. Now, Nancy comes across fake, child, sometimes because one minute you against Nolan, Carmelo, child, and then the next minute you trying to find out, no, what, this doesn't make sense. Okay, now she was talking to this Cajun Navy guy last night, and some things came out in this conversation. They showed the, oh, okay, got you, bro, Jay. Thank you so much. And so it came out where they found his body, the location, and they showed it. Then I want us to pay attention to some stuff there as well, because this guy here, I'm hearing that he has had inconsistent statements every time he does an interview. I haven't broken that down yet, but hey, come on, sir, because hey, we're gonna start side-eyeing you. Yeah, what hotel? Oh, I don't know about that story. Wow, that's crazy. They put it in a freezer? That's what I'm wondering. She didn't say. She said another source. Okay. Oh, Kanika Jenkins. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Taking over God. Right. With Kanika Jenkins. They were all on social media too and stuff. Yeah. I don't put nothing past nobody, y'all. Okay. We have not eliminated none of these people. I haven't scratched nobody out. And the whole town is a suspect, child. All right. Let's go ahead and get started.
18-year-old football star Nolan Wells heads to Horn Island with his friends to celebrate the 4th of July. But hours later, after he doesn't return to shore, his friends report him missing, launching a desperate search across the water.
They met that day, and it was kind of one of those things. It did come off that day that he really did like her, but that was the only time they'd ever hung out, was at Horn Island on July 4th.
We're sinking. Can y'all please come? And is everybody on board in good health otherwise? Yeah, everybody's on board.
From our friends at GMA, no, everyone was not on board. Nolan was not on board. And who's the mysterious girl he met for the very first time the day he goes missing? His body spotted by the United Cajun Navy, washed ashore. We have obtained that photo. We are choosing tonight not to show it. That last sound from our friends at NBC joining me in all-star panel, but first straight out to Todd.
Okay, what did she say?
Nolan was not on board. And who's the mysterious girl he met for the very first time the day he goes missing? His body spotted by the United Cajun Navy, washed ashore. We have obtained that photo. We are choosing tonight not to show it. That last sound from our friends at NBC joining me in all-star panel, but first straight out to Todd Terrell, representing the United.
I just don't feel like Nancy should have that picture. Okay, because if this is an ongoing investigation, if this is an ongoing investigation, why does she have to have access to those photos? Okay, that's to me like you're leaking out photos. Okay, and for her to even say that, I'm surprised she even said she had it. And thank God she had some type of respect and didn't show it. Okay, does his family know that? That's what I want to know. You can hear the arrogance in his voice. Those people need to go straight to jail for the fake calls and pick. Right. His friends are all center stage and his friends aren't talking but dropping clues. Exactly.
Cajun Navy participating in the water search for Nolan Wells. Todd, thank you for being with us. What did you observe?
You know, Horn Island, that area right there is an area that we have seaplanes that we operate back and forth to the island, taking people back and forth fishing, or all field workers, you know, back off to rigs and stuff. That morning, the body was observed on the northwest portion of Horn Island, which is not unusual for someone to drown and be washed up in that area. There was a park ranger that was on the island that actually had spotted the body, and we were calling in down to law enforcement officials on the ground what we saw from the air.
Okay, so I want to know why was there a park ranger just there on the island? That looks suspicious. And over the course of the day before that, notice, y'all, we listened to those dispatch calls. These people were everywhere, all around this island. Even Nolan's dad said when they went out there was a whole family on the island. There were boats tied up. What in the world? So it was a whole family. Who was that family? And then you saying a park ranger was out there. What was he doing? Was he searching? Was this during his search? Okay, now all of a sudden you got, see, every time we call something out, when we say, oh, there's an anonymous park ranger, why his name hasn't been released publicly? So now they got to, every time we call something out, let's fix that. Let's try to throw a little something out. So now I'm hearing we having the park ranger does a call-in interview. Where you been all this time? Okay, and y'all just sitting there chilling, and then, oh, here's the body. It just magically appears. I wonder, is Horn Island code for Devil Island? Because the way it looks, yes, it looks scary to me. Okay, that's what I was asking. Right, like that's weird. She's talking about the photo that shows the rescue team surrounding and removing his body. I don't think she meant his face, etc. I could be wrong, but there is a pic of rescue team surrounding him. Okay. Thank you. It is what it is. I'm going to see, because I think she says it again. Javon is trying to be a good friend by talking, but everywhere he is saying could be used to implicate him. The YT reported him missing at 11 p.m. to the Coast Guard. Yes. Okay. Yeah, they were already out there. They were already out there. So, I mean, I don't understand what happened. Like, we had all these people out there going all around this island looking at boats. They didn't, but y'all know she never said they looked inside of those boats that were docked over there. Was it Dog Keys Pass or something? And she said they said it was some boats out here docked. And even Nolan's dad said that he saw a couple of boats, and it was a family out there on the island. Y'all just chilling out here. This place looks scary. I wouldn't want to just be out here chilling. That was odd too. I believe Ben and Rev Al now know some of the details, if not all, the autopsy report. That 50, yes, it turned into 100K. I thought they aren't allowed to stay overnight on that island. So why was a family in their boat staying overnight? Okay. So you thinking that the ranger may have helped to plant body? Uh-oh. He doesn't live the park ranger, but there is a park ranger building. Really? What does that building look like? I'm just curious. There's a park ranger building on this island? Okay, thank you for letting me know that. I want to look more into that. Okay.
Terrell joining us from the United Cajun Navy, called in to participate in the water search for this young star athlete, Nolan Wells. Tonight, mystery swirling around his death. How is it that a group of his friends go out on a boat? They go to a remote Horn Island. There is nobody there. It's uninhabited. There are no phones. There are no bathrooms. It's just a hangout place. How does he end up dead on the shore and everybody else makes it back? I want you to hear one more time what the group is saying about that day.
They met that day, and it was kind of one of those things. It did come off that day that he really did like her, but that was the only time they'd ever hung out, was at Horn Island on July 4th.
I'd love to show you what a K-12 powered school is really like. Step inside.
From our friends at GMA, who is she? Where is she? What, if anything, did she have to do, if there is a she, with Nolan's death? That's from our friends at GMA. Back to you, Todd Terrell. And I'm about to go to Caitlin Becker, a senior national correspondent, New York Post, on the story from the get-go. Todd, you stated to me that it's, quote, not unusual for bodies to wash ashore in that spot. What do you mean by that? Because if it was that common, wouldn't this be designated a dangerous area and there would be warning signs? What do you mean it's not unusual? I find that hard to believe.
Well, many areas along the coast of the whole Gulf Coast area is a dangerous area. You know, I don't believe they could put up signs anywhere. I think it should be known that these are bad areas. The rip current is very bad in that northwestern portion. We call it the washing machine, actually. It's an area where the current just rolls round and round in there, kind of like a washing machine. And one of the interesting things was where Nolan was found was probably pretty close to where the incident occurred. So the body didn't go that far.
Okay, what incident? Was there an incident? Are you suggesting Todd Terrell, joining us tonight from the United Cajun Navy, our friends, by the way, at the United Cajun Navy. They are called in on many, many missing persons case. Todd, you stated the incident. What incident? You mean he didn't drown?
We're saying that whatever happened, we're calling an incident. Our job as United Cajun Navy is to bring people home back to their families, first of all, alive. Second of all, recover the body if possible. We knew in this case, the time frame that was involved, that we were looking for a recovery at this point. But when I said the incident, something happened to make Nolan not be with us anymore. It appears as though...
Notice he's been like careful with his words, okay? He said incident. That was going to be my question. I'm glad Nancy said it. What incident? Okay, because now you're trying to say or whatever. You're trying to like backpedal and just give us all this word salad. Child, stop. Okay, y'all saying the 100,000 not enough money. There you go. He done told on himself. I'm telling you, he had a slip up. Yes, because I'm glad she said it because I sure was about to ask it.
It was a drowning. You know, there was a lot of rumors about him being brought back to the land 10 miles away and you know, brought back out there and dumped off. I don't believe any of that is true. Whatever happened in that water, we're calling the incident. You know, the water goes from 2 to 3 foot to like 20 feet real quick. You know, there was some underage kids out there drinking. It's an island, you know, there's no IDs being checked or anything like that. So we said an incident, there's anything that could have happened. And not every person that drowns do you hear screaming and hooping and hollering. But at this point, our job was to bring Nolan home, and we did that.
What was observed? Guys, you're seeing right now from our friends at...
Oh, that's a good point. Bro Jay said, see, they knew this area well, and he just said it's not unusual that bodies wash up in that area. So that means they knew where to plant a body. Oh, oh my God. Well, the people who found his body in the water knows what condition he was in. Yes, they do. Another CC caught the dude from the Cajun Navy lying, contradicting himself about who discovered Nolan's body. Everyone is suspect for real, for real. Yes, that's what I'm hearing, that his statement has not been consistent. And I said I'm gonna go through his different interviews and try to clock some of those statements because I haven't yet. 100K after taxes and pay attorney, then you're broke. Charlotte ain't paying no attorney or what? Girl, I'll tell y'all myself what I'll tell y'all what I know myself. Give me my whole 100K. Wire it to my account, okay? But Nolan wouldn't go way out there by himself. Exactly. He just lied. He said what he said. I just read the TO. TO has added 25,000 to the, thank you, Ray, to the reward money. So now, y'all, we at 125K. It's going up. Now, I think if they start hitting 500,000, getting up to 1 million, they're going to show enough have way more people because some of those people, that's nothing to them, okay? The cars they drive, child, is 100,000. So depending on who you want to talk, okay? I Googled it, and there's only been 2 documented drowning cases near Horn Island, and they were both witnessed by many. Yes, because we looked into that at the beginning too. Remember with this story, any other tragic water drownings or anything like that at Horn Island? Yeah, and it was only a couple. So I don't know why they saying it like it's so many people that they found drowning here. Like, stop. The man is giving us the taco sauce and all the fixes. We Black, we don't wander off like that. We stay still until somebody come find us, right? And nobody has ever washed ashore until Nolan Wells. Okay, you better say that.
the United Cajun Navy. The video taken from their aerial craft. On the beach, you see a grouping of individuals. Now, from another source, we have obtained photos of Nolan's body.
Okay. Who said I didn't hear what I heard? She wanted to make sure she didn't say it was from Cajun Navy people. She said from another source, we have obtained photos of Nolan's body. Let me rewind it so y'all can hear for yourselves. I ain't making this up.
Being checked or anything like that. So we said an incident, there's anything that could have happened. And not every person that drowns do you hear screaming and hooping and hollering. But at this point, our job was to bring Nolan home, and we did that.
What was observed? Guys, you're seeing right now from our friends at the United Cajun Navy, the video taken from their aerial craft. On the beach, you see a grouping of individuals. Now, from another source, we have obtained photos of Nolan's body that we are not showing. It's just not right. But I can tell you, when you...
Okay, so they have pictures of Nolan's body. Someone and have to be, hey, those pictures should not be being said. And she's not. There's some don't care. They're about the view and the money. Child, they would have posted that info. Okay. Now y'all know back at the sub went to look up the amount. Remember, Los Angeles and on institution, okay, Bryant's family for taking and sharing gruesome photos of his January 2020 helicopter crash that had people dead. Vanessa Bryant was awarded $16 million in damages, okay, because they were passing around these photos. They were gruesome after his crash. Yes. So why again are y'all passing around photos of Nolan's body to Nancy Grace? Y'all think she lied? Hey, if she lied, I wouldn't have even played with nothing like that. I wouldn't have even lied about anything like that. Now, some people are saying now that she said that and maybe she's seen them is why her stance on this has changed. Okay. But I'm just saying, I don't think that that's right. That's crazy work.
See that grouping of people on the beach? They look like little ant figures from this high up above, but that is where Nolan's body is. They're standing around it. As I recall, Todd Terrell, Nolan was face down, still fully clothed on the beach. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. He was face down, which would have meant that he drowned.
Now he said he was face down, fully clothed. What do you mean by fully clothed? Okay. Because the last that we heard, he was in some blue swimming trunks with the little red necklace. What do you mean? So that is an indication of something that he would have had a chance to change clothes. What did he have on? Because during the search, y'all were looking for a black male with some blue. At first, y'all said black swimming trunks. But then once the picture was sent, y'all changed it to, okay, now we're looking for this guy with blue swimming trunks. So at what point did he add some clothes? And why was this the first time we're hearing that he had clothes? What color? What color were the clothes? Okay, what color? That island looks like a cigar in that big ocean. I wouldn't be in the little cigar. Okay, fully clothed. That's what he said. You think Nancy trying to scare That's what I meant when they were surrounding him when he was found. Yes. Yes. Like, that's weird. I guess the shirt washed up on him. That's what we're trying to figure out. What kind of clothes did he have on? So that means he wasn't swimming if he was fully clothed. So come on. Put the clothes on him, y'all. If he was fully clothed, where did that come from? When did he change? Wait, that sounds like Nolan probably had time to get back in a boat and put a shirt on. That's a clue. Ooh. Okay, 4:30 until 11. Where was he? That's what we trying to figure out. I hope if I die around my friend, they have enough respect for me to tell my family what happened. Come on now. Someone probably had on meta glasses. Girl.
When you say he was found fully clothed on the beach, it was in the same vicinity of where he possibly drowned, right there. So it was not uncommon for the body to have washed up right there. That being said, that area full of rip currents really strong right there, goes from 2 to 3 foot to 20 feet pretty much within a couple steps. So that being said, whatever happened really, really close to where the body was found.
Todd Terrell, I don't mean to be giving you a hard time. This is not about you. The United Cajun Navy are the protagonists in this scenario. You're the good guys. I've just got so many questions about how this happened. Was there anyone else on Horn Island when Nolan's body was found?
I run a podcast solo. No producer, no editor, no tech skills, just Riverside.
Now, there was the park ranger was out there, and there was some law enforcement officials that actually had their boats anchored out there. They were kind of like waiting around for a call of what to do. What people don't realize is when you're looking for a body on the water, especially in the Gulf where you have...
That was suspect to me as well. Y'all just out here waiting around. Y'all don't know what to do. What you mean? I need you out here looking. What you talking about? Okay, so they were just waiting around this circle. That was odd too. What are y'all doing out there in the water like that? That was suspect. And a park ranger just out there chilling when it was supposed to be a whole search. Y'all should be moving, looking around. Okay, he said fully clothed, made it sound like he had clothes on. Yes, that's what he said. He wasn't on the island when his dad searched for him, so they could have planted him there. That shows even more so, Nene, when he said that he was fully clothed. Okay, so that's a huge little, okay. Did anyone else see rip currents that day? It was low. When we looked it up, y'all, it was low tide, low currents there. It was not a lot of motion, what they're trying to make it seem like. I looked that up earlier on. Hey, Delta Roots, thank you for joining. So if you drown, your clothes supposed to come off. Think this man is lying. That's why Nancy Grace dragging him. You think she's dragging him? I don't think she's dragging him too much. She's trying to stay respectful. The medical examiner tried to implement drug overdose, but their question still remains: why did they have to identify Nolan only by his dental? Now, he also stated that when they found him, allegedly, he was face down. Now, depending on that, y'all know it's a lot of animals in that water. That could possibly explain that part, okay? Depending on how long, now we know it wasn't a long time his body was there, but depending on how long, y'all can kind of use your imagination on some stuff that could happen. Oh, I don't know. It is what it is. That's a good question. They were waiting for delivery of the body and saying, no, we found it. Oh, you think they were waiting out to see or the perfect time to put it out there? Oh, here it is. We found it. But y'all been out there all weekend? Come on now.
Waves going and you have white caps. It's a little bit harder to see. When you're in a boat, you can only kind of see the vicinity around you. So when we put these seaplanes up in the air, we can get a much more visual of a much more bigger area. And these seaplanes can go low and slow. So what we do is we stay in contact with the officials on the ground and tell them what we see. And if they see something too, they can relay it up to us and we can go investigate it. So in this case, there were several law enforcement boats that were just kind of hanging out in the area on the island. And there was numerous other boats in the area, circling and looking. but the body was found by a park ranger as it washed up on the beach.
You know, I'm very curious, Todd. Guys, joining us, Todd Terrell with United Cajun Navy. When I said, was anyone else on the island when Nolan's body was found? Your answer was completely 100% accurate, but let me rephrase and refine my question. You're saying the park ranger found him. That leads me to believe there were no friends. There was no newly met girlfriend. So am I left to believe that he goes out swimming all on his own and the friend girl leaves, the mates from school leave, everybody just leaves him out in the water and he dies and then just conveniently washes ashore? Somebody just left him out in the water? Does that make sense to you, Todd Terrell?
Now, I love the pushback Nancy giving him, okay? I was like, you better say it, because the way that's how I would have done this too. What do we have coming down the chat? Shout out to Bing, the DJ. Salute OB in chat. Now, the Cajun Navy's account of it being usual for his body washing up where it did, because Thrasher, guy in the plane from Cajun Navy, said it was not usual. Oh, come on now. Nice catch, and shout out and salute to you. And thank you so much for the super and for you being a sponsor for today's live. Wow, I never thought about that. Okay, see how they're talking? Let people talk, because you can catch them in inconsistent statements and lies. Okay. They said the park ranger spoke out today. I haven't gotten that video yet. Also need to figure out why the boat was at Fort Bio so long. Yeah, what went on down there in all them woods? She was getting into it. I love it.
Well, you know, being a person that goes to this island and several other areas that you can only get to by boat. We have some restaurants and bars in Louisiana that you can only get to by boat, which means you have to hitch a ride with somebody on a boat or that has a boat to get there, which a lot of things could go wrong in that scenario. But
now wait, y'all. Wait. Whoa. He just said something. Okay, pause for a second. He said, hold on. I need detectives. I need y'all to
left him out in the water. Does that make sense to you, Todd Terrell?
Well, you know, being a person that goes to this island and several other areas that you can only get to by boat. We have some restaurants and bars in Louisiana that you can only get to by boat, which means you have to hitch a ride with somebody on a boat or that has a boat to get there.
Okay. Now, I'm trying to think something through. He just said some restaurants and things that you can get to just by boat. Okay. Now, remember Alexis that was on the TikTok panel? Okay. I think she knows Nolan. I don't know if she used the word his friend or whatever, but she knew a lot of information and she was doing a lot of talking. We went through that live. Y'all remember Alexis? Now, didn't Alexis say something about them, the boys being out eating? And they were like, well, shouldn't y'all be out looking for Nolan? Because they were out eating somewhere. I cannot remember, though, the time that was when she said, you know, what time that was, right? And then someone said, well, they're going to blame us anyways. So I'm thinking, okay, you didn't see that TikTok? Oh, man. And it's a good one, too, because I did a whole live on that. So then I started thinking restaurants on the water. So let me go back to my notes right quick, because in Fort Bio, and like I said, I don't know the time or date that she said people, some of the friends were seeing them out eating. Okay. Hold up. Oh my God. I hope I can find it right quick. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I looked up Fort Bio. What are some things that you could do there in Fort Bio? Do they have any restaurants? Can you hang out there? Like, why would they be going to this area? Okay. Well, in Fort Bio, they have Aunt Jenny's Aunt Jenny's Catfish Restaurant. It's a well-known waterfront restaurant located near the bridge. They also have French Hermit Oyster Company. It's a commercial oyster business located near the waterfront. So I was thinking to myself, I mean, when he says only some places you can go to eat or anything like that, did anything take place at any of these restaurants? Did they meet up? Did they get some food? Did they see anyone? You remember that, Miss Lady T? I'm gonna have to, yeah, y'all gonna have to go back and watch because I don't have the time to bring that one up right now. But it is on one of my lives, and we went through that whole TikTok. She was on a panel, and it was like a good 30 minutes. I think she was on there for like 30 minutes, laying all of this out, what happened, what they were doing. But I cannot think of what day and time she said that happened. But when he just said that, it sparked a thought for me to go back to Fort Bio, because those are some of the eating places there in Fort Bayou. I never really, put that together till right now. Okay. Hey, Lakeisha, welcome. Hey, Miss Dee Dee, thank you ladies for joining. Let's see, there are some weird benches in a semicircle, like a ritual type of thing, just weird looking. Oh, really? I didn't see. Was that on the island? And okay, is it a place they stopped to when they were having trouble with the boat? That's what I'm wondering. Could it have been one of those places? Okay. Oh, so they were at, she said, breakfast on the 5th. Okay. I was just curious. That just sparked that thought right there.
Which a lot of things could go wrong in that scenario. But as far as what we believe, I believe that Nolan went out there with a group of friends. They were friendly, obviously so, because he was even out there. I mean, you got to understand, to go to an island, you have to have a boat, which means you have to have friends, which you have to have people that kind of like you to even bring you out there. So when Nolan got out there, the group of guys he was with, they decided to come in a little bit earlier. They were having some engine trouble on their boat, which is not uncommon. Happens a lot. Nolan, for whatever reason, decided to stay on the island, which is not uncommon. He could have, had this girl he was talking to. He could have just, for whatever reason, decided to stay. Not uncommon. That doesn't give us any reason to think foul play or anything was involved there. The issue is, when he stayed on the island, he had to hitch a ride back in with somebody. And there's where the issue becomes, who did he hitch a ride back in exactly? How were these people connected to him? How did they know him? And it's not uncommon for you not to know somebody at all and just say, hey, I need to ride back in. And they say, yeah, come on, get in the boat with us. So if I say, hey, Nancy, come on, get in the boat with us, that means at that point, we're responsible for you.
But Todd, here's my issue. Again, I agree with what you said, but the critical moment is somebody had to leave him there alone for the rest of the scenario that you're describing to unfold. He had to be alone. And Todd, and I'm going to bring in the rest of the panel. I want you to hear this.
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car.
Okay, I'm going to definitely go back and listen to what she said.
$118 for car insurance.
Okay.
That's how much I was paying. Okay.
That is from Anna Moore on Snapchat, and you have to listen very intently to hear what she.
And I agree, Bink. This is the thing. He is speculating. It looks like he's trying to help Mississippi with covering some stuff up. Okay, baby, just tell us how you found him. Okay, that's it. That should be the end of your job on this interview. I wouldn't go into, oh, he probably could have done this. Or he could. No. What happened that day? How did you find him? That's all we need to hear about. All this other stuff, it seems like you're just trying to throw some stuff out there. And no, we're not falling for it. These friends don't have to like you to get you on the boat. Right, exactly. Whoever left with him on their boat in the morning is legally responsible for a duty of care for Nolan as a passenger. That's what the law says. Oh, wow. Hey, honey, 5K. If he was left, why didn't the people who stayed see him? They know darn well he wasn't on that island. Right. Mm-hmm. I can't remember YouTube creator's name who showed a video of a man filming for a bio. Big houses, wooded trails. There was an area with benches in a circle. Okay, Peggy, I'm gonna have to look for that. Okay, I'm gonna try to find that for our because I didn't know anything about that for bios altar thing. Okay, I'm gonna look for that. She's breaking it down into different scenarios. Nolan was sacrificed. I didn't see that, y'all. Okay. It's rumored they put fish bait near his body to attract animals to his body. That could be why his body is allegedly in the condition it is, and dental was needed allegedly. Oh, got you. Okay. Wow. Yeah. A duty of care. Everyone who spoke in past tense needs to be arrested. Come on now. They are witnesses or participants. He was found where they docked. So wouldn't that mean no boat was moving or he was placed there? Exactly. That part. I agree. Okay, it was benches and some spots. Oh, y'all got my interest peaked. Okay. Another blogger mentioned that one of the islands that they stopped at has a Masonic lodge near the shore. This is crazy. What do we have coming down the chat? Shout out to Delta Roots for the super sticker and for being a sponsor for today's live. Thank you so much.
Claims is being said. Todd Terrell, United Cajun Navy, please don't move. Joining me now, Caitlin Becker, the senior national correspondent, New York Post. She is the star of New York Post.
Today. Okay. Can y'all hear me? Okay, there we go. All right, so that was all I was going to show as in regards to that Nancy Grace, that she has some photos of his body, child, and what that man was saying. Some stuff he was saying, it just was suspect to me. I'm gonna go back and listen to his previous interviews, because they said that there are some discrepancies between his interview here with Nancy, TMZ, and Law and Crime. Why are you doing all these interviews? Okay, why? I want to go and check that out as well. Let's see. Oh, okay, Bridget, let me see. But how long ago was it, y'all? Am I going to do a lot of searching? Because I don't like a lot of dead air. Let me see. Is it something quick I can find? I'll look for it, but I'm glad that y'all told me about it, because I'm gonna have to go and look for that. There were 3 boats they were using. Yeah, it's multiple boats. Could he have been tied to the bottom of the boat? And my theory on that whole boat thing, Latte, is I'm wondering, because when they said they were out searching, and in one area they said it was some boats tied up. And remember, I was telling y'all, what I wonder, was his body out there in one of those boats, and they never searched the boats. So if they did come back out to the island, it wouldn't have been them having to transport and move him around to too much. All they would have had to do is go to that boat and then take him over to that side and put his body there. It was closer. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know if they looked in the boats that were all there, who the family was that was there, because that's a huge. I don't know if his father remembers them or anything like that, but that's a huge clue. Who was the family out there when y'all went searching? I'm gonna look at it, and then we come back. I'm gonna share my thoughts on it. They drove the boat to the judge's house. The judge's house is like right around the corner of the island. And y'all, shout out to Kim Brawley on IG. Last night, I am gonna pull this one up right quick. Let me see here. Because y'all, I was like, wait a minute. I was looking at, I know she probably got all kind of photos and videos, because when you get behind on her videos, child, you are done. Okay. All right. So let me see. Is this the one? Okay. I think this is the one. Okay. Let me share my screen. This is the judge's house. She did a video about something she has in her yard.
Of the judge's house. Now pay attention to what's down there. Pay attention when I'm gonna zoom in. Judge's house on the water. And what is that? What is that? What's that white thing? What is that? That white thing right there and that little boat slip right there. What's that? What is that, Judge Cole? 360 view of the judge's house. Now pay attention.
As a slip allegedly, okay, behind her house. Remember, they were saying that allegedly there was some cleaning of a boat. I was like, wait a second, what is this? And they have direct access to, okay, behind that house. And I was like, whoa, let's see what else she came up with today, because I was behind. That's more of another view of it.
Come on, y'all. Let's read. Just okay, class. What do we learn?
I'm trying to
I
see
just
what
can't
else.
even believe that while the funeral. You see, that's where we made the mistake. It doesn't. Mr. Dean, I did not post directions.
Oh, Lord, she got Nancy Grace. She said, y'all done pissed my mama off. Now Nancy Grace ain't letting y'all slide. Tell me this ain't my mom, though.
My mama's gonna get y'all. My mama's on y'all asses now. But look, I had to work all day on this case, and I didn't look at the funeral. So, because I don't have time to be sad no more. Okay, we're at war now. Did the friends go? Evan's dad, did you send flowers? Show me your receipt you sent flowers. Did the friends go? I ain't talking about all the football players from his university. I'm talking about all them little white bitches. Did they go? Y'all let me know if they went. Let me know if they sent flowers even. Let me know if they sent a card. Or were they worried about getting on fake pages because they're freaked out right now. Yeah, you should be freaked out. You should be freaked out because there's a murder investigation going on and y'all's kids are all involved in it. My mom was gonna.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me see if I can find it right quick, Bridget. Let's see. Trying to see, is this it? This might be it. Okay, let's see if this is it.
Contacted police.
Needs to report her 8-year-old son, Nolan Wells, missing passing at 3 Horn Island.
And now NBC News has obtained new audio, part of a records request of a call made to a private towing company by some of Nolan's friends.
We're thinking, can y'all please come?
A mom of one of those friends wrote last week that the group left without Nolan when their boat began malfunctioning and that Nolan decided to stay on the island.
Is everybody on board in good health otherwise? Yeah, everybody's on board.
As Nolan's family waits for answers, they've learned the case will be presented
Okay,
to a
you
grand
said-
jury once the investigation is complete.
You said it said they were on the northwest side, Bridget. What do we have coming down the chat? Shout out to Shamika for the super sticker and for being a sponsor for today's live. Thank you, sis. Showing you their true colors in these comment sections. Peggy said, I don't trust anyone. Okay, the guy called in. It didn't sound... No, he didn't. I didn't know he said northwest. Did he? Okay. The mods, they probably watching. Somebody here need to be out. What's going on, child? As long as we're not being disrespectful, we can have a difference of opinion. Okay. Private doc is someone's home. Yeah, they have a lot of them. Her name is Kim Brawley. Yes, she applies pressure, y'all, every day. Let me see, because I usually go check her out every day, like in midday. I'm like, let me go see what she's posting, because she be on here all day. She be on here all day, y'all. It is so funny. She is not letting up. Uh-oh, y'all, I got to show y'all this one. Oh my gosh, I got to show y'all this. Okay. Now, this guy, I don't know if y'all know, he did a video. Someone sent it to me this morning. He said that, and he gets a lot of flack. Officer Tatum, y'all might know him. I don't know him. I only know him because I saw this video. But they said that he was on there, saying he went to Mississippi. He's talked to these boys, the white boys, okay, YC boys. He spoke with them and the family lying. Yes, he did a whole video to me lying and all of that. I was like, wow. So I want to see what she's saying about him.
Start on this goofy yet. This goofy, I mean, the damage he is doing to the black community, to justice, just coming over here with no knowledge, with using all of his million followers to spread fucking lies. This guy should be ashamed. Are you white? I mean, why don't you just go get your white? You have a white hood, and are you Clayton Bixby, motherfucker? Are you Clayton Bixby? I ain't even start on this goofy yet. This goofy. I mean, the damage.
Oh my God! She said my name is Clayton.
Let's talk about Sharpton. Sharpton is a double-edged sword, because what Sharpton does do, he has the money and he has the voice and he has the platform to get this wherever it needs to go. But the problem is he borders a circus act. And you got to look at how that looks to the white people, okay? Because I know why Sharpton has to do what he does, but the average white person goes, they called Sharpton in. You see what that looks like? That the white people, when they see Sharpton, they immediately just want to throw everything away. They're like, oh, they called Sharpton in. They fucking. So it's like, that's the problem we have with Sharpton. But it's like a double-edged sword, because we need Sharpton. But I'm telling y'all what it looks like from the white people and why y'all don't get the white people support when y'all call Sharpton in to do all the circus acts. So, he's helping, but you got to look at it from the white perspective. Let's talk about Sharpton. Okay, Sharpton is don't even look like a rapper.
Could have been
yeah. Y'all, when I tell you, look at this. Throughout the day, she's posting. She's like, what the hell is this? But it makes you think. It literally makes you think. She was trying to find out what were they trying to show us.
So we are going back to this theory and what is on the ledge of the pool right there. It doesn't look like anything structural, because they're all placed in different areas. They're not like placed to where they would be like lights or something like that, fixed to the pool. I used an enhancement to see what it was. It came up with this. Maybe you can use another enhancement tool to see what else it is. Now, look at the placement of these things. They're all randomly placed. So that means it's not some sort of like structural thing for the pool. Now, what are these? What could these things be? Are they fireworks with bases? Because that would prove that y'all's June 27th theory is gone, okay? I don't know what these things are. I don't know if those are fireworks or not. Y'all find out. Okay, so we are going back to this theory.
I thought the whole time they were beer cans. I don't know. So when they enhanced it, it looked weird. So I thought it was all beer they had lined up and they had circled it. You think it's beer too? That's what I thought it was. That's what I thought it was too. So I don't know, y'all. So much every day. It's just something different. Okay, someone said they thought it was some pipe where they had beat them with it. Ooh, You didn't get it? Let me put it down here again. You know what? Let me just drop her link. It might be a little easier. She is hilarious, but she has you thinking. Like, she gonna be herself. Like, okay, she's gonna be herself. She's very smart though. She's taught law. They tried to come forward to well, how you on here talking like this? She say, look, I didn't say I was a part of the bar. And she said, if y'all won't come for me, I have lawyers on my side, all kind of stuff. But she will have you thinking. And I like it. And the entertainment factor. Let's see. Bug repellents that let off mist. Okay. Remember, it was said they beat Nolan with pipes. Yeah, one content creator has stated something like that. Okay, and I'm gonna go do my research on that video right there because I haven't seen it. What was the lady? I think I still have it pulled up. Oh, shoots. Did I delete it? Hold on, y'all. Okay, I have it. Okay. So I'll go through her videos and try to find that part. All right, y'all. So that was all that I had on today. Thank you all so much for tapping in. Let's see. She took on me talking about that SOS call. I can never get that out of my head because every time I listen to that call, I think about her. Okay. I want to give a special thanks to the mods that were in the building on today. Also to the sponsors today, Smurfette. Hey, I'm Amy. I didn't even see you, sis. Amy, Sandra, let's see, LaQuinta, Bink, the DJ, Delta Root, Shamika, and Peggy. Thank you all so much for the being sponsors, the supers, and the gifts. I appreciate it. Thank you all so much for joining. Yes, they have tag team, y'all, for joining today. Make sure y'all tap that like button. It is for free. Also, don't forget to hype up the video. Make sure you watch any replays from yesterday. Thank you, Peggy. I appreciate that. And we will continue, y'all. I will continue to do some research and we'll continue to break this thing down little by little. We're going to turn the lights on and shine a light so the roaches, okay, can get to scattering, in the words of Reverend Al Sharpton. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. And thank y'all for being here. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell because you never know when I'm going to go live. Let's go ahead and drop some blue hearts. It is justice for Nolan. Nolan's life mattered. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
You just flip through truth with the open book. If you felt that heat, like share and stay locked in. Another chapter done, but we far from finished. Truth on the mic, yeah, we handle business. Real talk, no fluff, just facts and fire. From the book to the block, we taking it higher. The open book, every voice matters, every lie shatters. Catch you next page.